Oh, what's up? How's everybody feeling? We got Angry Black Man in the building. Got Lewis in the building. Mm-hmm. Gonna talk some good old shit. How y'all feeling today? Hopefully y'all enjoyed the zaniness of Grand Theft Auto 5 last night. Gonna probably do a little bit more gaming. How y'all feeling? Hopefully everything's all good, man. How y'all feeling? Just got home. See brother. Tonight's gonna be pretty freaking open. Okay. Because sometimes I talk to my friends and they tell me stuff and it's not them, but situations they're around. Like my ex, she got a new promotion for her job. She got a new gig. Still in the system, but she was surprised that her old coworkers were hating. And I said, you shouldn't be because you're around a bunch of catty bitches. That's the black community in a nutshell. You should realize that one, nobody really wants to see you well. Let me back that up. Everybody wants to see you do well, just not better than them. You're making strides to become a better person, get in shape, become more, you know, worldly, well traveled, increase your intellectual prowess. You have to be you have to be very honest about your situation. So it's going to be various topics. You got to understand something. Success in the black community is not meant for you. It's not meant for you. Okay? Did I ever come across paths with her? No, actually. No, I have not. I think that some people we never had the opportunity to meet, and some people avoid you like the plague. I prefer to do my thing. What can she really say to me? Hmm. If she passed, my condolences to her family. But A lot of people come on these YouTube streets with a lot of anger, a lot of hate, and not enough solution. Sometimes people forget what their legacy is going to be. To give you context, Malcolm and Martin never made it past the age of 39. They both died at 39 years old. What's your legacy going to be? If you could live 1,000 years, there's some people who will never achieve. What's your verdict? What will people say about you? And Kevin was in his 50s, and he brought a revolution with him. As a matter of fact, he got even more popular after his death. He's probably one of the most rewatched YouTubers or streamers of all time. There's so many people making content still after his death, and it's been like what, 3 years, close to 4. But we got people who are worried about things that have no substance. What's your legacy going to be? Excuse me. Do I fear death? Mm, give me a woo in the chat if you really want me to honestly answer that. Give me a woo in the chat if you really want me to answer that. Because I'll answer it very honestly. Only 2 people? I know we could do better than that. I know we could do better than that. 3 people? We could do way better than that. You know I like my audience participation. Come on, fellas and ladies. Do I fear death? Hmm. That's a good question. Do I fear death? Honestly, not like I used to. I think that I have normal fears, but I've been through so much stuff that in my relatively still young life that I don't fear what normal people fear. Okay? If that makes sense. because my body's trained and adapted through either training, experience, education, or just plain stupidity to go towards the danger. So there's a lesser fear of things that I used to fear, like compared to when I was 17, 18 to the nearly 44-year-old that's speaking to you now. My coach used to tell me this one statement. When he noticed, him and his son Poncho noticed when we were training how much muscle I was putting on. And your boy had a handsome face, and they were like, man, the girls must go crazy about you. And I said, hey, they don't pay attention to me. And they laughed and they told me, just get older, son. And that's what experience does to you. It's like, for example, remember when you were a little kid and you had to get a shot? You would scream and kick and be so belligerent and fearful. What happens when you really not tense up and you just take it? You don't feel it. You don't feel it. There's times now I go to the hospital. I'm talking and I look right at the person, right where they stick the syringe. Hell, when I was in combat lightsaber school in the army, you had to stick your head to give yourself an IV. You take a testosterone shot, you're giving it in your thigh, or in the side of your ass, or in your stomach. And that's how I look at it. You have fear because you're still human. It's just you're less sensitive to it. Yes, I want to live. I'm not saying that I don't fear death. I think I still have a resonant fear of death, not just because I want to survive, it's because how it would affect other people. For example, my parents, my son, my brother, my sister, my niece, my nephew, my great nieces, my friends. Even even hearing of me being in a hospital or being sick, there's at least 3 to 4 exes who would visit me. Even women that I never was officially in a relationship with, they would probably come and visit me. So you got to understand how my brain works, and this is an exclusive for everybody. In family, especially if they're siblings, there's always one heir apparent, the next to the throne, the next who's going to run the family, either through the death of the parents or the retirement of the parents. There's always going to be that one that everybody respects. Okay? If that individual falls, the whole clan falls apart. And what happens is that, and this is for men and women, by the way, because I told my ex, you're the heir apparent. Matter of fact, you're not even the heir apparent. You're probably sitting on the throne. Because if your uncle's the oldest member of your family from your grandmother down that's still living and he's affected by drug abuse, you're the next in line, kid. You're the most responsible kid. You are on the throne of your family. You're the oldest and most responsible and most successful of your siblings. Why the fuck would anybody else listen to the older guy who's on drugs, on and off, even though he's older? See, that's the thing about rank and file. It does not just mean your age. Sometimes we give deference to it, but it also means your experience. It's not always the highest ranking person that leads the mission, it's the most experienced. If I'm experienced in a certain type of reconnaissance, executive protection, direct action, search and rescue, depending on whatever discipline you want to name, asymmetrical warfare, static warfare, medical, if whoever's the most experienced and knowledgeable of that field is probably going to lead that mission. Yes, the person of the highest rank is still going to be responsible, but guess what we're going to do? We're going to go off that guy's lead who's the most experienced. So when it comes to death, I don't have the same fear as a normal human being because I'm for the last 26, 27 years, I haven't lived as a normal human being. So my fear threshold is going to be a lot more extended than most people. Do I get startled? Sure. But how many calls and how many situations between 10 years in the military and almost 20 years, maybe 20 years if you count all the jurisdictions, have I been and seen, and not only the armed security business and private detective executive protection, how many times have I seen certain things happen that most people will never see? So that builds your character. It's like saying for some of my truck drivers, if you have to be an ingenuity and a very quick on your feet thinking motherfucker when you got 18,000 pounds going 60 miles an hour and it doesn't want to stop when you want to stop. You got to be able to make calculations in certain weather conditions. For some of you electricians, you know what type of equipment you need and what type of voltage. You know what you can play with and you know what you can't. For some of my scientists, you know certain chemicals should never be even near each other, let alone combined. So when you have that experience in a certain field, it gives you some lead. Now, I will say leadway, but it doesn't make me tombstone courage. And tombstone courage is like what we like to call foolhardiness. Foolhardiness is saying, yeah, I'm going to go and I'm going to patrol and I'm not going to wear my vest today. You're a damn fool. I'm not going to put one round in the chamber. You're a damn fool. I like to lean towards calculated risk. My vest will increase my survivability. Having one in the chamber and practicing my draw, not only the standardized draw when I mean coming out and you're practicing on a target, sometimes I got to shorthand it and draw for the hit. Have I been doing strength training? Am I doing endurance training? Am I up with my verbal judo? Is my hand to hand skills up to par? Can I talk the person out of a fight without fighting? Does my flashlight work? Trust me. When you go into some of these homes at night or some of these alleys, you want a goddamn flashlight that burns bright as the sun. Because you want to be able to tell if that person has a weapon in their hand or a cell phone. You want to be able to tell if that's a person, period. You want to be able to tell, hey, I can see down the street, that's a pit bull. I want to be able to see in that alley, oh, that's a community of rats down there. Maybe I don't want to go down there. So when it comes to, I know that's a long explanation, but that's when it comes to fear of death. I have one, but not in the same term that people think. Next question: do I want more children? My son's 18, so it's no. Now I will have one exception. If she's way much more economically viable than me, have all the kids you want. I'm about to get 100% disability. Okay. Um, if I get my 100% disability and you make more money than me, she will have the babies. I'll be the house husband, put everything in my bowl. If you're willing to put your career and your financial on the line like men do, then I'll consider it. But right now, no. Any more questions since we here? Here's one. Do you think there will be a counterinsurgency spread nationwide against ICE? Uh, Give me a woo. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe, share it to your peoples because, hey, ask a former sergeant, a former shift commander. Present your law enforcement and military questions and overall questions as well. Um, for the most part, Americans are very cowardly. I won't say cowardly. I will say very subdued. This generation are not fighters. Can things happen? But the probability is no, because let's give an example, right? Mexico versus the United States. Is a cartel willing to get in a gunfight with the police and the federales? Yes or no, folks? Would the cartel, are they willing to get into a gunfight with the Mexican military and the police? A lot of them are. Hell, in some situations, they may be better equipped. Here in America, you're not going to have too many gunfights with the police. You just don't. Especially with this woke group. I want you to think about it. Dude bought a gun to a quote unquote peaceful protest. I'm back. Can y'all hear me? Dude brought a gun to a so called quote unquote peaceful protest. If he really was pissed about them and think they're Nazis and they're doing whatever Gestapo like heinous things, why didn't he open fire? You got to look at the mentality of people. Not saying that you won't have it, you'll probably have it in small factions, but nationwide, no. Most Americans want to be left the fuck alone, complain once in a while, and go back to work and receive their checks. You've seen how Americans really are during COVID. They were fearing the worst, okay? They were fearing the worst. A lot of your people who are so called tough people, those individuals, those individuals will not hack it. Everybody's tough until you put them in a situation and you'll see how much they'll either go forward and pursue or they'll break and bend. When your supermarkets don't have food, you bend people to your will. Most people can't farm. Most people cannot, you know, survive. I want you to think about it. In an urban environment, unless you have some dirt on the side in your backyard, how many people actually take the time to learn to grow food? Let's be very serious. How many of you even have the capabilities of raising rabbits for food? Because you don't have enough space to have ox or cows in an urban environment. And the worst part about it, they graze and they leave a bunch of manure on the ground, which is a health hazard. Not only just a health, but a biohazard, but also a methane issue, which means enough gas and a spark, kaboom. So let's look at that. Do you really want the might of the federal government to come down upon thee in any state nationwide? No. You're not trained. Most Americans are not trained in military tactics. Remember what I said. Most Americans are ignorant when it comes to violence. Chicago, Baltimore, Detroit, New York, Miami, uh, Charlotte, Atlanta, St. Louis, Milwaukee, LA, Houston, Austin, a lot of those are small places if you combine them, and you're not even at a fifth of the size of the United States. Okay? Not even a fifth. Most Americans have not seen violence. Hell, even in some urban communities, you have not seen violence. So you're trying to tell me people are going to organize against ICE and they bring a copter, a fucking helicopter in the fucking way, a Bearcat. The fuck can you do against that? Nothing. You would even have to. One sniper will have you shitting in your pants, and he doesn't have to kill anybody. He just got to wound one because he's a false multiplier and a force subtractor. Because guess what? One shot person, it takes two to carry. So do I think nationwide? You might have little things here and there, but nationwide, hell no. Next question: have I kept up with the Epstein files? No, not lately. Not lately. What's new with those? Keep the questions coming. I have not kept up with the files. Um, I think I think a lot of people are getting upset that he didn't want black people there, or whoever what he said, or some shit like that. I'm like, okay, shit. I think if that is true, it's the same thing, similar to when Kyrie Irving had his celebration on a boat on a yacht, and you didn't see any black women, and they're like, "How come you can't bring black women?" So y'all want to be slutted out too? Because you know exactly what's going to go on that boat. It's going to be face down, ass up. A bunch of used condoms thrown into the sea. A bunch of faces getting painted on. That's what you want? You want to be invited to that shit? Of course. Of course he was a spy. Well, I told people this, man. There's a reason why those fucking files never came to light. There's a reason why. Let's look at this, right? Let's be very serious. Okay? You have all these high ranking officials, world leaders, heads of state, famous actors and actresses with all their vices, and you know there's fucking video recordings everywhere. Just because your phone might be confiscated doesn't mean his cameras aren't. And with a name like Epstein, whose team you think he really rocking for? And it goes to show you how stupid the Democrats are. You had all the power in the world. You had a sitting president. Why didn't he release him? Why wasn't the guy y'all thought who was accused of doing all this shit? Oh, he's a child molester. Sometimes I really don't like talking to black men because some of you black men are worse than the bitches. And you're supposed to be the more logical one. Oh, you're a child molester. He this, he that. Then why the fuck? Let's look at strategy real quick. Y'all don't mind if I play military strategy? Okay. I told, I said that for years. I said Vlad is the biggest. I said this 10 years ago before all this other news came up. Vlad is the biggest vulture culture ever. And I'm going to prove it. Remember when Tommy and, what's his name had their beef? Who's the guy's name from Hidden Colors? Damn, can't think of his name. He set Tommy up because he knew Homeboy was coming. It could have broke out in a really big fight. They could have had guns, knives, or whatever pointed at each other. But he didn't give a fuck. Yeah, Tariq Nasheed. He didn't give a fuck. Why? Because his agenda is to fucking make money off the backs of black people's stupidity. And I said that 10, 11 years ago about. Now everybody's coming out with this shit. Everybody's coming out with this shit. And everybody wants to come out and say, hey, that's fucked up. He's stealing our culture. He's doing this. Motherfucker, you were happy with that motherfucker. You were in love with this motherfucker. You disgust me on every fundamental way for letting this jackass have his way and how he tries to expose black people on a very heightened scale and basis. But yet, you still got silly ass Negroes going. Say what you want about Shannon Sharp, but I'm glad he's making his money. I'd rather go to Shannon. But you gotta go to this goddamn motherfucker. And this is one thing my parents was very adamant about. We can beef, but we don't do it to. We don't allow strangers to come into our house and know what family business is about. And black people have a bad habit of doing that shit. Because that same black man will play both sides to get what he wants out of your ass. He did it. He did it in slavery. He played both sides against each other, and he took all the fucking jewels and the people. America, we played the French against the fucking English. In America, we knew the Jews were bankrupting goddamn Germany. Do I condone the Holocaust? No. But you have to understand what caused all that hatred. But that's the part history And this is the reason why they don't want to teach true history, because it's finagling. What's up, Mella? And when you allow fucking spies like that, you have to really look at yourself and the company you keep very closely. Because what do they always say about devils? They only have three mission objectives: to steal, to kill, and destroy. The shit that Epstein was attempting to do was fundamentally catastrophic. You could have fucking literally set countries ablaze. And these are the same motherfuckers that they point out 80 years ago, never forget, but they'll tell you slavery was a long time ago. Well, bitch, you have your country and weaponry from the United States and monetary backing from Great Britain and the United States. We still looking for our fucking reparations. I don't want your fucking apology. I want the greatest apology you could give me is the fucking money that you made off of my ancestors and my backs. Because best believe if you pay taxes, they still make money off your black ass. Because you do know your tax refund is a basically a check from the government that says thank you for investing in us. We're giving you this money back. Not everything we paid you we took from you. Not only we're not going to give you everything we took from you, but we're going to pay you with no interest. And oh yeah, by the way, if you don't pay this, we'll put you in jail. Even though there's supposed to be quote unquote no debtor's court. How about them apples? How about them apples? ABM said America could have saved 2 million Jews for $2 million, but the U.S. refused. Yeah, yeah. It's like the old school Hulk Hogan. That's not going to work for me, brother. I want you to think about this because the next time I'll talk, you better hope I never get a chance to talk to Vlad because I'll ask him, how come you won't talk about reparations, but my people were sent to the worst concentration camps to rescue yours? But your people financed the ships to bring us into bondage. Ain't that about a bitch? See, it's funny when you actually know history. Who are the financiers and insurance agents for these fucking slave ships? What's the old saying, people? Party people. Follow the fucking money. Men lie, women lie, money trails don't. Money trails don't. You want proof of that, folks? How the fuck did you get crack cocaine over here in the United States? Could the average black man afford cocaine? The average black woman? Everybody and anybody know that's a rich man's drug. Ollie North. Thank you. Let's look at the Contras, right? The fucking Contras. Remember, we're doing this for capitalism and liberty and the USA way. So what? We're eliminating the black community. Yes, Because what were the first goddamn things sold on Wall Street? Your black ass. So I don't want to hear this whole I feel sorry for immigrant shit when we still got a thing going on. Like me and Mrs. Jones, we still got a thing going on. I don't give a fucking flipping shit. You know, yeah. All you motherfuckers who love your fucking rappers, the most, the most hardcore motherfucker ever, the most trill motherfucker, the most I never ran my mouth for shit motherfucker. Look up Oliver North. Look up Oliver North. How do you become a TV correspondent after getting after getting your rank and pay removed, and somehow you get it back, and then you become a TV correspondent? Only in America, right? Random thought. More black women should wear heels with stockings. I think so. One, especially in the fall or winter or spring, it's more lady. If you're in a professional setting, you're supposed to. And plus, it saves a lot of women's feet. But hey, I got told I'm not a woman, so I can't answer that. Just by the same chick who told me, oh, a certain type of man can bring the femininity out of a woman. If you're not a feminine woman, you're not feminine. There's no masculine feminine principle that we need to box in and say, hey, this is a disclaimer. You can't judge women because you ain't a woman. Well, my God. But you know what that chick said? Well, it's in a man's nature to be protecting. I said, so what if a man told you, if you're not a feminine woman, if you're feminine enough, it'll bring out all the masculinity in me? Oh, you don't want to hear that, but I'm supposed to stick around and hear, I got to bring out the femininity in you. I call bullshit 100 miles away. Don't be mad because you're cantankerous. You're hard to deal with because you're hard. Well, it's the environment. Shorty, let's be real. Let's be real. A lot of you can't pick a good man because you're too busy being a goddamn thug yourself. Yeah, very elegant, right? Very demure. You know, it used to be when someone had some elegance, some class, some dignity, who had immaculate beauty on top of that, some grace. You didn't have to be anywhere in the vicinity to see how feminine and how demure she was. She was dainty. I've never seen a lady ever had to change her tire. Hmm. Well, you gotta understand. No. If you try to be aggressive and all kinds of shit, you do know masculine men do not like masculine women. But for some reason in our community, we think that's cute. And I'm not talking about the tomboy, the chick who might be an athlete. She's cute in her own way, but she's not trying to be a dude. You can actually see her be dainty. She's going to be a little competitive. She's going to have a little sweet thing on you. But she's not going to overstep her place and boundaries. She appreciates the fact that she's got a dude who can probably be who can be masculine. What we don't figure out is why is it that everybody can tell us about masculinity, but we can never tell the women about femininity? And they so-called do not date women, which we know is a lie because most of you chicks had fucking bisexual interactions with other women. Hell, let's be honest. Some of you ate more vagina than I did. And yes, black women are the number one demographic when it comes to what? LGBT. About 64% of black LGBT are female. So when we look at this phenomenon, we have to say, is our masculinity respected? Is it vaunted? Is it warranted? Time will tell. Right now, time is telling a good damn story. Time is telling a good damn story. Well, this is what happened when you teach your girls to be boys. They got their legs cocked open. They talk to you with more slang than a goddamn black gangbanger movie. I mean, let's be fearfully honest. Average chick in our community is a goddamn dude. Average chick in our community is a goddamn dude. Excuse me. If you speak to them, it's very rare you'll actually hear a dainty voice. Most of them like, "What up, y'all?" Sound like a '90s rap album. Uh, got deeper voices than goddamn DMX. They tell you all the times they fought their baby daddy. I mean, who the fuck wants to be involved in that? My God. Like, let's just be serious. Come on, fellas. Keep the questions coming. And ladies. Who the fuck wants to deal with that type of attitude? It's called exercise. Limit your sugars. Do a lot of leg exercises where you're releasing a lot of free testosterone. Um, get a lot of exercise in. Drink water. Drink some more water. Cut down on your alcohol, percentage. It's righteous things you could do. Limit your sugars. Reduce your soy. A little bit of stuff you could do. Um, what do I think about them? I haven't read too much of them, but I think it's about time we got some fresh blood. I've seen the defensive coordinators and OCs he's bringing, and they're not playing games. They're trying to make a statement. And I know that Lamar was in those meetings for those coaches, so you're going to get somebody that's going to be able to tailor to Lamar's strengths. You want an OC. I think it is really important not just to have a good OC, but a DC, defensive coordinator, who can make the Ravens' name and defense feared again. But I think, the new blood is going to be very valuable. Don't be surprised if they go to training camp a little early to get used to this guy. I think this is going to be like a Lamar team type of ordeal where you're going to see Lamar in a much bigger position as a leader. You're gonna see him call a lot of his own plays more and more. You're gonna see a lot more of that. I think you're gonna see Lamar. One thing I wanted him to do was I want him to get all the rehab and get healthy as a horse. So once you get a healthy Lamar, you're playoff bound, and that's with one of the biggest turmoils for the team this season is that Lamar wasn't healthy. You had a lot of key players. That shows you, since we weren't getting a lot of sacks like we did the previous season, that showed you how important Metabike was to the pass rush. That showed you, and you're going to have to get somebody on that goddamn line that's screaming off of there. So it's not only just the coaches. You got to have players who can play. And I said we need to make some moves to get a young stud who can get off that fucking line and scream, or a vet. Team him up with a goddamn vet that knows what the fuck they doing, and get a monster in the middle that can stop that goddamn run. But I'm gonna read more up on him. Yeah, I said it for your cardio. Keep bringing your questions. Woo! That's when I always thought the coke was hitting when he gave me one of them crazy moves. That shit was hitting. But yeah, This is one of the things I think that the space itself needs to be more remarkable of, you know, what are men going to do for their health? Because May was talking about black health. I talked about that years ago about black health, black male health. If you notice, a lot of black men are taking their health much more seriously than years prior. They're not coming out to be somebody's meal ticket, somebody's wheel wagon. No, a lot of these people are taking better care of themselves in droves. Black men are not the black men of yesteryear. Do I think you need to see your doctor? Yes. I don't care how much you exercise. Go see the motherfucker. Are you stupid or are you dumb? Well, all I need to do is take my fruits and vitamins. Yeah, go see your goddamn doctor. Oh, I don't want nobody playing my butthole. Shut the fuck up before you get cancer. And there's nothing you can do about it. Stop being stupid. If they got to give you a colonoscopy and they got to put a camera up there, guess what? Eat some fruits and vegetables. Help you clean your gut. Oh, well, why I gotta do that? A lot of you need to go to your doctor and actually get a wellness check. A lot of you do. Nobody's perfect. So go see your doctor. A lot of black men need to stop this shit. Go see their doctors. Be happy. Stop waiting for your women to know all your goddamn business that you do. I think it's shameful. Get your blood work. Get your cholesterol checked. Your blood pressure, your testosterone, your heart, everything. Your woman should not know all the shit about you. You should know more about yourself than anyone else. Stop being lazy. If you can't control your liquor, put the bottle down. Straight up. If you can't control the liquor, put the bottle down. A lot of you, if weed is your god, we don't do idol worship here. We just don't. A lot of you are doing idolatry with weed. Oh, it's natural. That shit ain't natural. If they fucking synthesizing this shit, it ain't natural. Stop fooling yourself. Stop fooling yourself. Will the Democrats shut down the government again? I'm more of a 50-50 right now, but I know if they shut down the government right now and they fuck up people's tax returns, boy, boy, you will see them motherfuckers voted the fuck out in droves. Go ahead, fuck up people's tax returns. Go ahead, do it. I dare you. You already got You already in danger of shit. Go ahead, shut this government down and people fuck up people tax shit. Man, they will fucking riot. They will fucking riot. You right, Andrew? Get your shit checked. Think about this. You already lost the Senate. You're trying to regain the Senate. You already shut down the government and put people out of work once. People don't believe in you as they used to. All right? You're already looking like a very faulty ass party that only care about women and gays. Let's just put it out there. Don't blame me for this shit. Just put it out there. And you want to shut down the government when people are starting their tax refunds? And how many people actually need this very badly? Are you fucking kidding me? Do you want to win? Do you want to win? That's like starting a wrestling match and you're halfway on your back. Do you really want to win? You will literally make this country hate you. You will literally. I'm going to tell you how ruined this party will be if they do that shit. Especially around this time when it's going to be refund time and you already held up people for what? 40, 50 days? And some of them are friends of mine in the federal government. Go ahead and people will hate you. People will hate you. Go ahead. I dare you. People will fucking hate you. So I'm at 50-50, maybe 40-60. That they 40% they won't. That they will 60 they won't. Not at this point. Because if they fuck up people's money and you already put people on the back burner with bills and all kinds of shit, nah, people ain't going for that shit. Especially a lot of my friends who are homeowners and they got families and tuitions. You'll turn your own party and implode it if you do some stupid shit like that. My aspirations. What are your aspirations for the future of Baltimore? Um, to get a new regime instead of the old talking fucking hats. I don't think that Democratic rule has ever helped Baltimore once. The shit's stagnant. It stinks. It's not helping anybody. The best thing that happened to Baltimore was Governor Hogan. Let's be honest. You had three Democratic women mayors all leave in disgrace. Gee, I wonder why. I want you to think about that. Your inner harbor is not worth visiting anymore. I mean, it still is to an extent, but you have a whole gallery mall connected to the Renaissance Hotel, and it's closed. You can't bring any stores, any type of attraction there for people to because people do go to different states to do what? Shop, shop. That could be another shopping district, not just Bel Air Road, which you don't have really shit on Bel Air Road anymore. You sure as hell don't really have too much on fucking Lyman Street. You need to develop not only tourist attractions, safe ones, but you also need to develop what? Learning. College and trades for your boys. Why not? Hmm. If you're not gonna develop it to your boys, just say fuck it, we're not. I'd rather you say it than have us guessing and saying you're forced. What's up, bad hombre? Long time no see. Why not develop the education for the boys? If you're gonna do youth works, why not get the youth works into the trade programs and actually have those boys do what? Work on these vacants or work on some of these fucking places under the tutelage of a master plumber, master electrician, master carpenter, and actually get some work experience with a real fucking job instead of some bullshit, hand me down bullshit. Why not that? Why not take those boys who in AP class, AP stands for advanced placement, the ones who are going to college, and put them with professors, both college professors and college students in the same field they would like to be in, and mentor them, put more money back in the upper bound, and have all these kids go to Morgan, Coppin, stay on the campus, go to class like I did in the 90s, go to field trips, go to college tours of different HBCUs around the Eastern Shore. Go, what is it? Stay on the campus, go to trips, learn some different things about your culture. You're gonna have to make the boys responsible. Why not send some of your boys and invest in Black Line Security and training them to become security agents, private detectives, executive protection agents? Why not put the protection responsibility back on the boys? Make them responsible. When you give somebody responsibility and duty, they treat their city differently. Yes, no, maybe so. Give me a woo if you like that. Oh, trust me, I miss the nightlife, the clubbing, the dining, some of the best fucking food in the country. But you let all that shit go to fucking waste. And you wonder why I said we need a new regime. We need a new party, actually. I don't give a fuck if it's Democrat, Republican, Independent. We need a new regime. This shit is getting stale. It's getting old. It's getting old. Think about it. We used to have people from Jersey, New York, Delaware, fucking Virginia Beach. Y'all wonder why I've dated so many women outside of Baltimore? Is because why? Baltimore was one of the party capitals on the East Coast, especially with the club music. Hey, down the hill. Hey, 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 down the hill. So you telling me we can't utilize that as a strategy of bringing more tourists here? Let's be fucking serious, pal. Let's be serious. While I was speaking to y'all guys, I was smoking this dude on Madden. It was beautiful. Fucking beautiful. I can multitask, baby. Straight smoking them. Yeah, cut that up before they cut my stream. I want you to think about that shit, man. I want you to think about it. Some of the Philly girls, the fine ass girls from New York, the fine ass girls from Philly, the fine ass girls from Virginia Beach, Richmond, the fine ass girls in DC. Hell, we used to trade off with DC. We used to have friends. We go party 1 week in DC. They come up to Baltimore with us. Yeah, bring your homegirls with us. We used to tell a couple of shorties from Baltimore, come down to DC with us. And they'll come, and there's the dudes that tell their girls, their homegirls, hey, we going up to B-more. I gotta ask permission because, I'm a young lad. Y'all don't mind if a nigga smoke a cigar, do you? Do you mind if a nigga smoke a cigar? I don't know if y'all like that shit, but can a nigga smoke a cigar? I'm just asking for a friend. It's like my nigga. Can a nigga borrow a french fry? And you sit there and you're like, how does a nigga borrow a french fry? What is he gonna give it back? Man, look, I put my life. You ever look for something and you find something else you was looking for earlier? Should happen right now again. Motherfucker. Yeah, we would always go to the club and food, stay the weekend in the hotel at the harbor. A lot of energy. That energy went to DC, of course, because when the harbor was going down, DC was building up their harbor. Their nightlife. Come on, you didn't get pumped when you heard walking. Miss Tony said, "How you want to carry it?" Miss Tony said, "How you want to carry it?" Miss Tony said, "How you want to carry it?" What's up? What's up? Come on. I may come off as a lame, but I did live a life, you young knave. If you're sitting down, get your punk ass up. I'm sorry. Hey. Any Baltimoreans in my age group, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you're sitting down, get your punk ass up. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Shit. I might need to find out how can I do a Baltimore Club Mix fucking video. The fuck are my damn lighters, man? Don't tell me I put them sons of bitches in my pocket like I was gonna smoke something when I was driving. God damn. I do all this goddamn walk. Come on, move, cat. I'm Let my cat like coming on the steps doing like you're doing a photo shoot or some shit. Yep. If you're sitting down, get your own ass up. I'm sorry. My 20s were good to me. What about you? Any more questions or should I open up the panel? All right, just give me a few more questions, then I'll open up the panel. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. I'll put it to you this way. I'm glad I met some chicks I knew back in the day. I know now and not back in the day. Because I know goddamn well I'd have treated them like shit. And they probably would have done the same for me, respectfully. Oh, yeah. If you're an 80s baby, Lord knows you lived 5 decades. You seen a new millennium, a new century, 5 new decades, and you're not even 50 yet. Yeah, it did. Because where Port Covington is, that's where Inner Harbor 4 was. My grandfather worked there for 30 years. Raised 4 kids, got divorced when the last one was about what, 17? Said, fuck this shit, I'm out. Became a master mechanic with an 8th grade education. Think about it. You're going to have to go back to those roots again. You're going to have to go back to those similar roots some way. You're going to have to go back to the industrialness of men. I'm not knocking the women, but women don't build societies. I'm not saying women aren't important. They don't do shit, but when it comes to building a society, you're going to look for the men. You're going to look for the men. Unfortunately, for a lot of chicks, is either you're going to have to get the best man you can because age has caught up with you. Not going to lie, I did kind of semi talking to this 47-year-old lawyer who looked like she's 27. Fine as a motherfucker, though. Hey, if you make that much more money than me and you got real estate properties in New York, I'll be a house husband. Charles, she makes more money than you. So what? I'm a winner. Duh. Not saying I would use a woman for her money, but hmm, hmm, be a smart nigga. What you doing? What you doing? Be a smart nigga. Well, this is what happens when you send all those jobs, all those important build a nation jobs outside the country. And guess who took advantage of that? China. China. Look how much, and now look how dependent you are on needing them to build shit for you, to produce shit for you. Yeah. If you got a chick that makes $500,000, yeah, pay me. Quarter of a mil, pay me. Yeah, I tell people all the time, if you're gonna get a woman, if she can't help you build your business, the fuck you with her for? Pretty looks. Honestly, you're supposed to get pretty looks and the money and the bag. Get the looks, get the bag, get the money, get it at. So guess what? What if you one of those Negroes who can get all of them? Don't get mad. So who's coming up here? What y'all want to talk about? Because this is open topic. Just keep giving me topics. I'll talk about it. Don't matter to me. I'm up. I'm up a little bit. Because right now, we're going to talk about some subjects. We're going to talk about some goddamn real subjects. Shout out to my boy, the Raj Report, early in the morning when they were talking about the white dude who was shot by ICE. I'm going to reiterate what I said on his show. Since he's trying to keep the bad language down, and my channel, we encourage the bad language. I like having the ability to say, I feel nothing for that dude. You're an idiot. You're a waste of fucking skin. You're going to go put a gun on, arm yourself, and kick a federal agent's truck, damaging their light system, and they get mad and get combative with them, and they put you on the ground, and you start reaching for shit after you already have a gun on you. And I said on the show, is it reasonable for a reasonable officer to shoot them? Yes, because you already have a present weapon. Why would you reach for something in your pocket if you have agents with you and you already have a gun? I don't know what the fuck you're trying to do. You already showing hostilities towards me. I'm gonna wait and find out. No, it's one thing if you put your hands behind your back and submit it. I shouldn't have to wrestle you to the goddamn ground after you commit a crime. That's your fucking fault, not mine. And Americans, we need to one, stop feeling sorry. Stop feeling sorry for stupid people. Stop feeling sorry for idiots. Stop feeling sorry for idiots. You don't see none of these other groups of people marching when you get accosted. You don't see that. You don't see that. Nobody feels sorry for you when you're in trouble, black people. Stop feeling sorry for idiots who do shit show work. That's all I'm saying. They're not going to feel sorry for you when you're locked up. Nobody knows you. Everybody hates your black guts. Oh man, that's not true. Bullshit. And I can prove it already. How many of these people gave scholarships to you and your people? How many of them said, hey, we want to see 50% of black people in law enforcement in this country? Nope. Nope. The first goddamn thing that happens is what? Well, we can't do anything to your, we can't do anything for you, sir. Why not? Why can't you do anything for us? Why do I have to be accosted? The only thing you could do is apologize to me, but yet Asian people can fucking lie and say black people beat them up all the time, and they get a hate bill. The so-called model minorities, right? They can get all this shit out of people. They could literally rob our people blind, overcharge our communities, get rich off of our communities, put their kids in schools they're not going to put our kids in, won't even hire any of our people in their stores, but they got a hate bill. How the hell we need a bill to see if reparations would have corrected what happened to the black community? Really? Who does that? We gotta have a bill to see pass to investigate. Motherfucker, you didn't need a bill to go fucking kidnap a president of a foreign country. Did you wait for congressional hearings then? Did you wait for a bill passed to hear then? And this is how you know black politicians are full of shit. Y'all not raising hell about reparations? Then what the fuck you there for? Oh, to get your pockets fat. Okay, okay. But you just want our stupid asses to keep voting for you to get richer while I get poor. Oh well. Oh well. I guess we're gonna be the blatant dumbasses to keep playing these fucking games. That's it. I mean, what is it? Not only did they cut them a check, Roy, they gave them a fucking country with armaments and and sovereignty. When Gaddafi tried to give black people money, the Obama administration said, "Fuck that." The Obama administration said, "Fuck that." No, no, no. I can't go for that. No, 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 can do. You want the body and you want my soul. Hell no, you ain't gonna get that. Hell no, nigga. You ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna get none of that shit. Oh, that's messed up, Falk. You really think the people ain't trying to help us? Fuck no. Everybody's too busy making money off your ass. We're the damn fools who don't return the fucking favor. That's the shamefulness of it. That's the shamefulness of it. Everybody else wants to make a dollar off of a black person's neck, but we can't make a dollar off of them. No, 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 no. We can't do business with you. Even the so-called motherfuckers who come to this country supposed to be black got the audacity to complain about us. If we're so bad, then why are you here? I'm pretty sure you heard about all the racism, the bigotry. Why are you here? We do so much better because of our culture. Black people have in America have no culture. But why do your kids want to dress like us? Why does your kids want to dress like us? I don't see them wearing no goddamn dashikis. I don't see none of them motherfuckers wearing their traditional African wear. The first thing they trying to do is get a pair of Jordans. First damn thing they trying to do is get a pair of Jordans. Let's be serious about this shit. You're right, All Star. Nobody wants to help us in the first place. We're the biggest crime in American history. The biggest crime in American history. Nobody wants to admit their crimes to black Americans, even the Africans, because they still hold the receipts. A lot of those well to do Africans, a lot of their money came from the fucking slave trade. Did y'all know that? They held receipts, they held dossiers. But you're not allowed to do that shit. You're not allowed to take advantage of this America. You allow the only thing you're allowed is to be taken advantage of. That's all. You're not supposed to be a human being. You're not supposed to be the human being. You're supposed to be the monkey entertaining everybody. You're supposed to be entertainment. You're not supposed to be the free thinker. You're not supposed to be the head honcho. You're supposed to be the guy who gets used like a carpenter uses a tool. This is why you're the greatest baby daddy of all time. This is why they enslave you. You were never supposed to be a thinker. You were never supposed to be a dreamer. And we're the white on that. I don't even trust them. I'm not knocking guys who date them, but I don't trust them. Every time you see a brother with a white chick, boy, unless she proved herself already, shout out to Snowman. I don't trust no white woman that has not proven herself yet. Sorry. A lot of these chicks will fuck you in the backhand, man. And that's not even cute. How badly they'll do it. It's not even cute how bad. I'm baffled that black people are so willing to trust white people. Well, you're taught that way from slavery, man. Remember what BGS told everybody? It's slave culture, man. Slave culture will set you free. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. You're not supposed to look at each other's allies. Once you look at each other's allies, that means I don't have control if I'm the slave master, right? Once you start to unify, then usually the slave master will die. I want you to think about that. Once you unify, the slave master usually dies. It was vital for him to keep division in those slave quarters. Even if he didn't like your black ass, if he gave you a new coat or gave you fresher meat or a bigger chicken, something the other Negroes didn't have, just to keep division. Just to keep division. The more you divide it, the less you're thinking about me. That's the rule of thumb. The more you divide it, the less you're thinking about me. Who has spent the best DDT move? That's an easy answer. That's Arn Anderson, man. Oh, phone stuck like that. Okay. Usually I show it, but it's Arn Anderson. Even over Jakes. I love Jakes, the innovator, but Arn Anderson was smooth with his shit. Is it bad that me loving and respecting? Yes, it is bad because white boys can do it all the time. Asian men, Arabic men, they usually see black men are the only men that can't go into a goddamn they can't go into a goddamn facility without having any type of fucking homoerotic shit involved. If you say I love you, bro, oh that's gay. This is the reason why no other race of men literally does what? Judge their masculinity and through women's eyes. For what? You should be able to be like it, bro. Call me, text me you got home safe. What's wrong with that? No, another way of fellowshipping. See, everything's got to be gay. This got to be gay. That's got to be gay. But you know, they'll call you gay, but they all got a gay best friend. Think about that. They'll call you gay, but they got a gay best friend. Even though the Von Erichs were genetic freaks athletically, I will put my money on the horsemen because they are willing to cheat. I love that. I love the fact that the horsemen are willing to cheat. What's up, Loss? There should not be any discrepancies when it comes to brotherly love. How come that white boy Marine in Fallujah can say I love my fucking Marine brothers, my brothers in green, but if I say I love my brothers black men, I gotta be threatened with homoerotic slurs. Think about that. We destroy ourselves with that bullshit. Time and time again. Time and time again. Anybody could jump on if they want. But I'm glad you asked that question because we're supposed to give the love that we'll know we won't see from the world. We're supposed to be okay with that. We're supposed to be capable of this. You're supposed to look at another black man and understand the struggle he's going through. Automatically. Well, guess what the people tell you? No, you're gay. You're this. Don't let anybody tell you that having love for another human being and just seeing them as the human being as themselves, especially a black man, never let them convince you that that shit is gay. Because usually people like that, they have issues with themselves. And that's the nutty part about it. That's the nutty part about it. Everybody else can be proud to be a man. What's up, you, black man? What's up, you? And out of all months, Black History Month, you should be afraid. You should never be afraid. This our month. We should be able to tell each other we love each other and hope nothing but blessings, peace, and prosperity for each other. Especially during February. Fuck that. Do you think deadlifts are better or the best exercise for building overall mass and raw strength? The big three for mass and strength is squat, bench press, deadlifts. So once you do that, I mean, if you got a deadlift, you could move a lot of shit because it's a very functional lift, if not the most functional lift that you'll probably have in life. Second's the squat, third's the bench press. Those are the big three mass and strength builders, which are your bench, your squat, and your deadlifts. So if you can master those, there's not too much else you're gonna be afraid to do. Not too much else. So once you get those, and what did they say? You should be able to bench your body weight, double your body weight in a squat, and then do two what? And then 2.1 for your, or 2.5 or 2.3 for your deadlift, something around that way. So if you're in those numbers, you're pretty good. But I think people look at maxes and forget like a good repetition state will keep you functionally healthy and safe. I think that that's a good point, Losh. You got to know your body. You know, there's times I would deadlift like 400 or 500 pounds for like 5 to 10 reps. That's, I was on my Beyonce. I'm feeling myself shit. So, you know, I think that a lot of people need to really go into. I don't have a spinal injury. That's what she said. But, well, not yet, giggity. But a lot of times, people need to start with the small numbers and get into the repetitions to build strength. Strength lifts are usually between 3 to 5 lifts. Your moderate lifts are usually between 5 to 8, and 10 to 12 is usually for your endurance. So have at thee. It doesn't mean that, yes, in my super day when I'm feeling myself, am I gonna be lifting like a motherfucker? Yeah. But I think it's more important to lift functionally and safely than to try to do a bunch of ego lifting. Am I a victim of ego lifts? Of course, of course. But we all gotta love where we are in that scheme of things. If you, I'm not saying because I might curl 60 pound dumbbells. If I'm feeling tired or sore, I might go to the 40s and 20s. Can I shoulder press my 60s? Yeah, sure. But most of the time, you're gonna see me fuck with the 40s. Why? Because I still like having my shoulders attached. Those tears and shit add up. You gotta know. You gotta know a safe limit. Gotta know a safe limit. Give me 1 second, folks. I'm gonna take a call. I'm back, folks. Yeah, we get swing your list. I tell people get as much as a functional lift as you can. Practice those. You'll be pretty cool. My personal opinion, the more functional, the better. Now, more questions? Anybody coming up? Let me know. Keep pumping out the questions. I'll keep giving you the answers. I don't mind it. But one of men's health is you want to be as healthy and strong as fast as you want to be for as long as you can be. One of the biggest things against erectile dysfunction is what? You gotta lift. You gotta do cardio. You gotta get the blood moving. You gotta do all kinds of stuff, man. It's very easy. A lot of shit is very functional and trainable. So don't get mad at a lot of damn results because you'll get them. Just slow and steady wins the race. A lot of people forget. Check your testosterone. Check your cholesterol. Nothing wrong with that. Eat your goddamn fruit. It helps with your gut health. Get some of that stool out of your gut. Get a colonoscopy. Don't eat goddamn hamburgers and cheeseburgers all the goddamn time. Eat some goddamn fish. Hell, eat a goddamn salad. Hell, you know what? After my 8 o'clock appointment, I'm gonna go downstairs with all that fucking produce, wash out one of my bowls, and I'm gonna cut up a mean ass salad. I'm gonna cut open a mean ass salad. Got the cabbage, got the spinach, got a lot of the carrots. Yeah. Don't forget to invest in your salads, man. By the time June hit, your goal is to put on 5 pounds of muscle. Put on 5 pounds of muscle. You can put on 5 or 10 newbie pounds of muscle by June, and you can take an inch or two off your goddamn waistline. Eat a salad. Eat a salad. Got your little protein in it. You could get some little chicken breasts. Go to the deli or go get some little chicken breasts or turkey breasts. Cut them up. Fry it, cook it right. Get that shit going. And guess what? Bada bang, bada boom. Get some green peppers, some bell peppers. You got yourself a goddamn meal. As a matter of fact, if you got some Ziplocs, that's even better, boy. Take it to work. Cut down your sugars, which I'm gonna start doing. If you're gonna drink your soda, drink it on the weekend. Everything else is straight water or alkaline water. Cut up some goddamn lemons. Get the alkaline water. Get that gut health because that's what's killing a lot of black men, man. The goddamn gut health. Yeah, stepping out. Lead to the light. Lead to the... Oh yeah, my ex also reminded me this is 3 years since Leon's passing. That's why stepping out is very special to me. Lead to the light. Yeah. Stepping out. Come on up. Yeah, when I had the conversation, this is for the late night adult crew. Joined by Mella, joined by ABM. What's up, people?
What's good?
What's good with you?
I'm
You
keeping
know,
in touch.
celebrating one of the passes of one of my best friends, Leon. He would have
Um,
been 40 if I turned 44 this year. He'd have been 42. He passed February, right before a week before my aunt did. So that was a hard time, man. That was a hard time.
yeah, that's young.
But like I said, man, black men go to the goddamn produce aisle. Go get some goddamn vegetables. Cut the motherfuckers up. Learn how to make soups. Learn how to make salads. Go to the deli. They will cut the goddamn meat for you to put in your salads.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Believe it.
You wanna? I'm gonna say this real quick. Then you got the floor. Yes, I know some people shouldn't eat deli meat, but guess what? If you do it in good moderation, that one sandwich with whole grain wheat bread and olive oil, mayo, you will start to see how lean you will get. But go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I came up here to stress how important it is to clean your produce. Um, do not trust that grocery stores, in terms of produce, are without bacteria and God knows whatever else. What I suggest is when you bring home your lemons, when you bring home your apples, your lettuce, what have you, make sure that you soak them in baking soda and vinegar. Only small amounts, per gallon. And just a big old silver bowl. Men are attracted to shiny things. A big old silver bowl. Put your romaine lettuce in there, chopped off at the end, and rinse it, and then fill it up with water again, and put what, let's just say a teaspoon and a half, maybe two teaspoons of baking soda and a teaspoon of vinegar, and swish it around and let it soak. Those microbial bad buddies will die, and then you can rinse it off, you know maybe dry pat it, and put it in a refrigerator, not soggy. Whatever you do, don't put lettuce in a. But when it comes to other things, you could just put like maybe a paper towel at the bottom of a Ziploc bag, and you'll have fresh produce. It's important for your digestive system to be able to pass these proteins through that will enhance your muscles. It's very important because these amino acids are nothing to play with. They're important and they help you to enhance your your physique. At the same time, you're gonna need, you know, let's just call it roughage to help it pass through successfully. So
Uh,
clean your produce, gentlemen,
You got a
the proper
goddamn,
way.
you got a goddamn 2,000 pound bull. He ain't eating steaks. He put on some muscle. So you gotta be cognizant because of my friend, her son's 20. Because he lives the 20-year-old life, a lot of shit that he had to get a procedure, basically damn near almost a colonoscopy, at 20 because he was eating so many burgers. And which you're telling me, and his mom's a PE teacher, and I've trained people for years myself. That means you weren't eating any vegetables or fruit. I know goddamn well that if you're not eating vegetables and fruit, guess what? You're not putting into your
The
you're not
enzymes that it takes to
yeah,
break down proteins. That's what's
yeah,
missing. You know, it's important.
yeah, you have to. Because if you don't, you're gonna get that bad gut feel. That shit ain't cute.
Now, I have a controversial thing to say before the gentleman on the panel speaks. It's regarding grains, and people aren't ready for this, right? Um, there will come a time when somebody's stomach is bothering them and they don't know why. I'm doing everything right. I'm doing everything right. But you're eating grains, right? You have to have a strong stomach to tolerate grains, be it oatmeal, be it wheat, be it rye, be it barley, be it millet, be it rice. You have to have a strong stomach to do that. I would encourage people to study biochemistry and how digestion works. I'm not your guru. I'm just saying.
You got
I yield the floor. Thank you for listening. Thank
thank you. You got bad guts. That's what you got. What you got? Bad guts.
you.
Bad
It's a
guts. What's
real
up,
thing.
baby? What's up, ABM? How you been, man? How the business treating you?
Are you
Still
talking to
there?
me?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you. What you say?
I said, how things treating? How the fam and the biz treating you?
Uh, Same day. I mean, same shit, different day.
Yeah, pretty
Chilling,
much.
man. Yeah,
Pretty
I'm over
much.
here starting my health journey.
Yeah.
Good.
Just started my journey yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah, you know
I'm
when.
pre I'm pre-diabetic, so I gotta turn this around.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. May it be well with you. You can do it.
I'm gonna tell you one thing about
You've
it.
come through rougher roads before. This ain't nothing. You got this.
I'm gonna tell you one thing about it. Natural sugars help a lot because they help you get over the processed sugars very easily. They help you get over the naturals very, very easily. And
You know what the biggest devil in the world for me is? That I can afford to eat whatever I want, but I know better. I know better.
Yeah.
In this moment in
Well,
time, I know better. Just because I can go out and have practically whatever I would be served,
Yeah,
I
because
know what those ingredients can do to me. And it's such an empowering feeling after a number of years. And yes, darlings, it takes years. After a number of years, I've studied biochemistry. I've studied, as they say, the microbiome and all this other kind of stuff. And it's not necessarily um, constricting my freedom, right? It's just knowing the order of operations as to how I can invite an agreeable meal for myself. It's not that, I don't crave sugar, you know, to this degree, but I've learned like, just say, for instance, I go out to a dinner and there are the typical items on the menu. You got your appetizers, you got your main course, and you got your dessert. And I'm faced with all this stuff that previously would have disrupted my stomach, made me bend over like, oh God, what did I eat? Those previous episodes no longer exist for me because I know the order of operations when you periodically go out for a meal. You have to acidify your stomach first and foremost. Then you welcome the vegetables. Then you welcome the starch. And then you welcome the protein. And then hopefully you can accept the sweet dessert. You're less likely to experience pain if you follow that order of operations. However, some people are so far gone because they've been taking pain mediating pharmaceuticals like Motrin. Okay, let's keep it baby. They're taking baby aspirin because they're worried about whether or not they're going to have a stroke. It's tearing up your stomach, so your stomach's not going to able. I'm sorry, not going to be able to receive the 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 pounding of these proteins that we look forward to. You have to prepare your stomach to receive the proteins that you look forward to. That's all I'm saying. I hope that makes sense.
it does. Well, you got to think about it. When you pride yourself off a bad diet, that says a lot. And
You know what, Charles? I can go to some Wham Bam Thank You Man restaurant and order a martini. You know what I'm going to have first? I'm going to have those damn olives, okay?
uh,
Because they will acidify my stomach. You know what I'm going to have next? I'm going to have the Caesar salad without the dressing,
yeah,
okay? Because what I've done is ask for a bowl of lemons. I'm going to squirt that lemon juice on those leafy greens, and that's going to
okay.
help acidify my stomach. You know what comes next? This broccoli, the steamed broccoli, or cream spinach. I'm going to consume that. And then I'm gonna consume this ribeye. I'm sorry, the baked potato that's not dressed with anything other than sour cream and butter, real butter. And then I'm gonna have that ribeye steak. And after that, I will have a sliver of the cheesecake. They want to bring this big wedge of cheesecake out. I'm gonna have a sliver of it and take the rest home. That's how I get down if I have to go out to dinner.
But
That's how I
you,
get
but,
down.
but you know, people got to fight
And
the
I wake
urge.
up happy the next day
You got to think
because I
people fight the.
conducted the order of operations for the for the digestive system.
Well, people gotta fight the way a lot of people taught. Like, I never really cared how we were taught as kids. I understand why. Eat everything on your plate, but you're giving children with these tiny little stomachs. A child's stomach is no bigger than your fist. You know that? 4-year-old, 5-year-old stomach is no bigger than your fist. You're giving them adult portion meals, and they're saying, I'm full. You're thinking they're being wasteful. They're not. They're full. And
Well,
their stomachs are expanding, and now you wonder why, and now you're giving them nothing but sugar just to shut a kid up. You give them sugar. You give them not even fruit. Like here's an apple. Nah, body Skittles. I swear to God, anybody who's pre-diabetic, if you want to reverse diabetes, natural sugars will kick in effect because you will burn that shit off so quick. Here's another secret about burning sugar. Get into weightlifting to help burn them sugars off. My God, at least moderate weightlifting. Moderate weight. If you can only do it 5 times, 5 sets of five, good for you. You know what you just did? You just burnt a whole lot of sugar out of your system. So
Because the
Hey
heart rate
Charles,
has been, yeah,
can
the
I
heart rate thing, yeah.
go ahead.
just get my intro off? I think the second time I've been on your channel. Shout out to you for having me up here. Um, this is a much different speed than the boxing content I normally get into when people are yelling over each other. We just trying to build here, so I
Yeah.
appreciate y'all. Um, Yo, Mela, you let me know some things about the digestive system. I take pre and probiotics, to help with the gut health. I know that's connected to the brain and all that works in unison. So I've done some research, but you let me know some things about, like you said, the order of operations. I'm an engineer,
And that's
slash
my own
mathematician.
term.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah.
own
So I'm
term.
I'm definitely I'm definitely into maths, and you said order of operations. You definitely caught my ear, so shout out to you. But
Thank
yeah,
you.
I just got over 40. I'm 41, about to be 42. I definitely need to look after my health, and not to be a downer, but I was a caretaker for a loved one for the past 4 years, and it didn't work out the way we wanted, but I got to move forward with life regardless. So I say that to say I know how important taking care of your own health is, preventative measures. So yeah, shout out to y'all. I just wanted to get that off real quick, but I just tapped in, and that's what I've been hearing since I've been up here. So I appreciate the information.
It's a pleasure
Yeah.
meeting you.
It's always a pleasure you up here, man. It's funny because you had people think about this. Your grandfather, on average, probably had 4 times the testosterone. Why? Because we did a lot more manual shit. So,
Oh, that makes sense.
I
so
Yo,
introduced
I'm
that
gonna say
order of
this. I'm gonna say this
operations term.
currently.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I introduced the order of operations term because people with engineering minds, it can it captivates them. It's like, wait a minute, order of operations. Wait,
Hmm.
I'm familiar with that, and now it's being, you know, congealed with nutrition, and that makes people interested in nutrition. I think it's brilliant to introduce
I
that
feel you.
term in adjacent, I'm sorry, in conjunction with nutrition. I think it's brilliant. I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just saying because
You
there are
got it.
engineering minds, brilliant minds, who can be saved if they just knew how to properly digest their food. Do
I'm
you
gonna
know
tell people.
people who have expired from dementia that could have been saved? People who have expired due to strokes and heart attacks who could have been saved? These are important messages in the interest of our longevity.
And I'm gonna
I
say this real
live for
quick.
that.
I'm gonna tell people: get rid of your goddamn stress. Get rid of your goddamn stress. If you're around stressful people, stress. Now, there's some stress
That's
is
a
good,
fact.
like weightlifting, running. There's some stress that will give you benefits, but if you're dealing with a stressful individual, stressful, unnecessary stress is what I'm talking about. Unnecessary.
Yeah.
Um, learn how to mitigate that shit because what's gonna happen?
Unnecessary annoyances are not healthy.
No. A lot of us take that shit on as a burden, as something to be proud of, and I tell people no, you don't be proud of that shit.
Hmm.
This is the reason why, you know, when we talk about black relationships, Know who the hell you're dealing with. Know who you are. You should never stress that person out, and they should never stress you out. Yes, there's going to be some stuff that, hey, you're not going to agree on, but you should both be adults about it. And this is the part that people don't listen to about the space. Oh, well, y'all talk about not marriage. No, if you're in a marriage, you should be gaining, and they should be gaining from you. You should be gaining from them. It's mutual. That person should be really help relieving your stress. You should be help relieving theirs. Anytime any party gives, and never receives, that's abuse. So,
It
Hmm?
is.
I'm with you.
It is.
Speaking as a
when we
divorced man, speaking as a divorced man, you got it.
you got to realize, I lost my hair because of being with a stressful woman for 5 years, and plus I was dealing with a very high impact job of being a police officer in Baltimore. One is going to not make room for the other. So she always wanted to talk about how stressed she is, and you're a preschool teacher. You're a pre-K teacher. I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm not trying to shit on you, but you're not dealing with a fifth of the stress I'm dealing with. And
I feel you.
she not understanding that, look, I can't deal with your bullshit the way that I want to because I got to deal with my bullshit first. And
Oh, well articulated.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
the
Um.
saddest part is, it's because one, when I come to you and I'm like, hey, give me about 30 minutes to an hour to decompress because I don't want to give you none of my stress. And you're trying to, well, this need to be fixed, this need to be done, this is,
Right. Right away.
and
Sorry.
then
Go ahead.
I leave out the fucking house and you don't see me for 3 hours. I don't call you. What the hell you think's gonna happen?
Yeah.
You're
You
gonna
know,
turn that.
I'm glad you mentioned that when it comes to women. Um, a lot of women are selfish, self-centered. Um, you know, how can I explain this without actually dogging black women out? Um,
It's
there's a
truthful.
lack of understanding that you ought to already be happy, and when you look for some man to make you happy, that means you're not already happy. So you're bringing misery to this man. And this is where because as much as I want to say it's something as simple as, well, she just didn't like you. She just wasn't in it. No, she's ignorant. She has no concept of peace. If she had a concept of peace, she would understand that you have a need to decompress before you're exposed to something outside of the stress you've already dealt with. And that's the ignorance that encompasses failed relationships, if I do say so. I know when to shut up. I know I've been belligerent and bogus and confrontational and conflictual as practice in my persona as Mela. However, as the true woman that I am in this age and time, I am fully understanding what it
Okay.
takes to maintain peace. And a lot of women don't know how to do that. They don't.
A
I
lot of that is
I
perform
would like to,
because it's
if I
entertaining
can.
people. You know, I perform as Mela because it entertains people. I do. I was unfortunately baptized in this tutelage. You know, it started a decade ago. I was baptized in this tutelage of Black YouTube. However, what I'm being sincere about is that um, it's important for men to identify a peaceful woman as opposed to a problem woman. that is important for you.
Okay, hold on. Okay, go, CJ.
I'm a yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say this. On Melo's point, um, I I'm actually a former pro wrestler. I don't think I said that up here before, so I definitely know how to play the character. You know, I
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
you
play
said
a
that
character
before.
on my channel.
You
Yeah,
said
yeah,
that
okay.
before because
But
we were using
no,
the
no,
lingo.
on some real to get down to something real. Because we have a woman up here, I would like to know everyone's perspective. It's for the whole panel, but especially Mela. Do you think at this point in the game, like the relationship dynamics, especially in the black community, that it's safe for a man to be vulnerable? Because I know women say that a lot. Oh, just open up, emotional intelligence. Do you think that's a safe thing for a man to do in today's relationship climate?
We're
Not
gonna.
without discovering the dimensions of compatibility between you two. That has to first be explored. When you solidify the dynamics of compatibility between you two, then you can be vulnerable. But outside of that, no, it's not safe to be vulnerable with a stranger. You have to discover the dimensions. That's the word I'm looking for. Discover the dimensions of compatibility first before you make yourself vulnerable. That's my answer.
Okay,
I say no.
how would you? I accept that. Sorry to cut
Hold
you
on.
off. It's your channel, but I got to follow up. How would you advise men go about
Hold on.
that process?
Before you ask your question, let ABM get in.
No, I was just gonna say. I say no.
Mm.
No, it's not safe.
I I
Not now. Not ever.
I don't agree. I don't.
Well,
Me personally,
Ever? Like ever? You 10 years married and you like
I
Oh,
tend to go
ever?
that same
I'm
direction.
way more than 10 years married. And my wife say it all the time to me, and I tell her the same shit. No, because all you gonna do is throw it in my face later on down the road. Nah,
Well,
there's
Mm.
I've
when
well,
you
seen
that's
it way
not
too many times.
when you
okay.
look at our community, right? And this is not trying to shit on
Did
black
you
women. This,
know that? I know for me, I didn't understand that he was petty, right?
mm-hmm.
I didn't understand that. I didn't understand
Hold
that
on,
my
Mella.
man was petty.
Hold on, Mella. I'm gonna just say this, and I'm not trying to shit on black women, but we don't have the daintiest of women. We do have dainty women, but it's not a lot of them. It's not the cultural norm, is to say, because it's one thing if you have like, and I do agree, you got to know the compatibility. But I also agree with ABM is that a man can't ever stop being Superman. It takes a hell of a woman for him to be vulnerable in front of and still respect them. See, it's this one thing we have to learn about nature. When a woman cries, we want to help her. When a man cries, we want to destroy it because we see it as weakness. When a man cries, he's got to do that shit on his own. 9 times out of 10, unless you have a very special lady and a very exciting girl, as the song would say. And when we look at our culture is very brutish. Would you agree? It's very
Yes.
brutish.
Yeah, we
It's
left the
very brutish.
Klingons. Unfortunately, history made us the Klingons of this shit. So yeah.
And the fucked up part about it is, no matter how much I love a woman, and I only date black women, if I ever get married, I would get married to a black one. But God knows it's not me. And I've taken evaluations, and even my ex has said that. We used to never argue, then why the fuck we break up? And here's the part about it. If I can show weakness to my woman, the saddest part, and yes, you're gonna have some, and I do agree with Mella, you got some motherfucking men who are ignorant. But for the most part, when you look at the women in our culture, when they see a vulnerable man, they're not taught to nurture it. to cultivate it, to put them back on a pedestal. They're taught to seek that and put it as a note so they can use it as a kryptonite bullet. And our culture is so goddamn far gone that those kryptonite bullets get loaded every time you fail, every time you cry. Why don't you show more feelings? Because when I do, you use them against me. One of the biggest heartaches is not,
Excuse me.
bless you, one of the biggest heartaches in the black community is not the white man. Because we've been dealing with the white man for God knows how long. We know how to deal with his ass. To the point we can make him sick of us. Is when you come home and the one person you trusted, you made children with, you made a home with, turns on you like a rabid dog. I've said this before to a lot of black men. That same chick you laid in the bed with, that same chick you were at the altar with, is not the same chick in the courthouse.
Not at all. Speaking from experience.
And that's the hardest part. And I'm glad Mella's here. And believe it or not, I've seen a lot of Mella's growth. There's sometimes she'll get on my nerves, sometimes I'll get on hers. But I've seen a lot more growth from her lately this past year alone. And yes, I do appreciate the help tips of how to, decontaminate your vegetables. Thank you for that, Mella.
Absolutely.
But this is the part that I like to educate women like Mella because a lot of times Mella reminds me of my exes. She sees it, but she sees it years later than when you spoke it. Does that make sense?
That's the nature of it, but I do feel you. Definitely.
Because a lot of my exes, when they notice stupid shit that a lot of women do, they'll tell me about it and they'll be like, "Damn, you did tell me this XX many years ago." I said,
Hmm.
"We're always taught to forgive you, but as soon as we do one thing you think is an insurrection against the system, burn us at the stake.
Insurrection. Yeah.
Anything
Gotta pay
that's an
the penalty.
iniquity against the kingdom, off with his head." There's little
Off
forgiveness for
top.
us, but we supposed to be nothing but benevolent than a motherfucker for you. And at some point, what power do you have as the so-called leader? This is the part that kills me. And I told my ex, you and your ex-husband get along great when he agrees with you. What if he says our son needs to go to this school and that's final? Because that is his father, and the boy's about 13, 14, and there ain't shit you can really teach him past 12. Hey, past 10. Are you going to be
Boy,
agreeing to that? Because I know goddamn well if we were married and we had a son, he ain't staying with you. What can you teach him?
Charles,
You can
I
teach him to
want to
be a
say
nice
this real quick.
person, but not a man. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. Like sometimes I think about it either way. Not me not having children. Again, I'm divorced, but we didn't, yeah, we didn't have kids. I
God
see it
bless
as
you.
a gift and a curse. So it's like whether I had a son or a daughter, how would I raise them in this environment? Because I see it shifting so much. Again, I'm 40, almost 42. I've been here since the 80s. It's like I've seen the game change. It used to be different courting a woman in the 90s and then the 2000s, and as the decades have gone on. So I'm like, what could I even what formula could I give my son or my daughter to navigate this environment? So I'm just
Mhm.
like, man,
Yeah.
maybe it's better I don't. Maybe I still will. I don't know. I can't
And
call it.
I'll
I
say
faced
that.
that fear years ago. When
How
I
old's your
met.
son? How old's your son, Mella?
All right.
Huh? Hello?
No. All right. Go on.
No, I was saying, how old's you have a son, right?
Yes, he's over 25. Yes.
Yeah. So here's a question I have for you.
Uh oh.
Did you see? Because all of us are over 40, at least. Because here's the thing: we're the last generation to actually see two-parent households actually outnumber single parenting. What do you see? Because here's the thing: my son just turned 18, so what did you see change when your son became of age to date, and then once he became an adult? Go, especially when it came,
Technology.
especially when it came to the opposite sex.
I'm answering technology. That was an unpredictable obstacle of influence. That's what was the conundrum in my parenting. My husband and my parenting him were um it's like we all had it figured out, right? It's like all we got to do is guide him to his best self. We didn't factor in technology, right? And how that, because we were prepared to, let's just say, filter out his friends. Okay, it was like as long as he doesn't have any, you know, pissy ass peer pressure, we can filter out his friends, making
Now I want you to
sure
go.
that the
I want you to
right.
go a little. I want you to go a little bit more in depth about technology for the people listening now and later on.
All right, there became this obsession with having the latest and greatest gaming consoles. This watching cable television, you know, cartoon programs. There became this prioritizing media as opposed to going outside and play, right? So we had to
Okay.
force him to join the baseball league. I'm sorry, the little league. We had to force him to do outdoor sports. We had to force him to do, he would prefer to stay indoors
Mm.
than
Yeah. Not
participating
to cut you
in
off, but that's a
competitive
generation gap.
sports.
I hear you. Go ahead.
And I was just like, what kind of child doesn't want to play baseball? You know,
Right.
so we had to force him to play sports. We had to, I won't say threaten, but it was kind of like a,
You're a black
you
mother.
don't get
You're a
to
black
do
mother.
this
You're a black
unless you
mother. You
do that.
threatened. You're a
Yeah,
black
so
mother. You threatened. Stop that
Don't do
lie.
that. Come
you're
on,
you're
champ.
not gonna get the Xbox if you don't join this baseball team. It can't. We weren't prepared for that type of intrusion.
So he became very introverted.
Mm.
No,
Was he? Was he,
actually,
or was it more introverted or becoming a couch potato?
no, no, no. It wasn't that. It was the fascination of the technology.
Hmm.
More of an insight kid though, by
He
your own
became
admission, right?
fascinated with it.
I mean, I get it because I like the game, but we also had a balance, and we were made to go play outside. Right? Get your ass outside. You ain't gonna be up in this game. Go outside. The only
Oh
time,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
even when it was cold, you know what I noticed I don't see anymore, especially since we had this blizzard in Baltimore. You don't see a lot of guys who are teenagers or young adults with shovels asking people, "I'll shovel your front for
Can I
$20."
shovel? Yeah. See, I can't relate to that. I'm a California man, California kid by my own admission, so I don't know nothing about the
With all,
snow.
with
But
all, with all
I
love
feel
and
you.
grace, go fuck. With all love and grace, go fuck yourself. But, but you know what else I never see in a while? Snowball fights.
Now, when I
Maybe
went
you
to the
haven't seen
snow, when I
kids.
went to Tahoe, I did do that. Definitely, I didn't mind getting my hands dirty and
Notice,
cold.
notice you didn't see that ABM. You don't even see snowball fights anymore like that.
Um, it's a generational thing. These kids are more into the gadgets now. Um, we was from probably the last generation of a kid could go outside all day long without any type of parental supervision.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the unwritten rule of get home when the street lights come on.
Yeah.
Nowadays, kids are more into the streaming. You know what I mean? They want to watch their content creators. Like my youngest boy is already talking about he want to be a content creator. He want to do reaction videos.
Yeah.
American
That's funny. I never
sports,
thought I would have a channel, but yeah, go ahead.
American sports outside of football are not what they used to be. You don't see any Black American baseball players no more.
Mm-mm.
There's no Barry Bonds, no Ken Griffey Juniors anymore. Remember, I
None.
mean, we grew up on
None.
There's no Tysons
Willie
or Ali.
Mays and you know what I
Good
mean, all
point.
those
My man
guys.
was Ricky Henderson. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
from Oakland. It was
the
Ricky
great
Henderson
Ricky
for me.
Henderson. Yeah.
Black boys don't want to play baseball anymore.
There-
Even American basketball is falling off. Viewership is down over 50%.
Think about it.
You turn on a basketball game, it's a bunch of Europeans. Like, okay, they might still be Black, but they're Europeans. They're Africans that's living in France and some shit.
Yeah.
The only thing left is football. I mean, me and Charles was talking a couple streams ago. We was talking about boxing and fell off.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, who's your version of
Oh, now
Ali?
you speaking my language.
Who's your version of Tyson? Who's your version of Ray Leonard, Ray Robinson?
Exactly.
Because it's
You know what's even more pitiful is that children don't even want to learn how to ride bikes.
exactly. I
What?
think
Why
I
ride a
think
bike? You can just go outside and
That's
get
what
you
I'm
an
saying.
e-scooter.
Like, they don't even want to learn how to ride a bike anymore.
I
You
mean,
know what I
you
mean?
got to think
It's a
about
I
it.
see kids
generation.
at the park with bikes, at least here in Sacramento. But okay, I mean, y'all are parents. I believe you. I'm not saying you're wrong. We're in different regions,
I'm just saying that it's times change.
Yeah, you got to
no,
think about it,
absolutely.
right? You got to think about it, right?
They have this "what do I need that for" attitude.
Yeah, you got to think about it,
They are
right?
discerning what is important to them as opposed to valuing our input.
And again, you got to think about it. These kids now can get a Twitch account or get a Kick account and play video games online and get paid.
Yeah,
Who the
That's
hell wants to
My
ride a
incentive,
cousin
bike?
does that.
baby. That's the incentive.
think about it.
That's
Why go out for the basketball team and I probably don't even make the team? I might as well, hey,
and
start this Twitch account.
because there's revenue generated from it, the parents step back and pause.
Well, that's true, but peep game, I think it's more the validation for like a kid. He might not get monetized off top, but that social validation that he gets from the likes and the views, that's definitely a factor. I feel that dopamine rush.
Yeah, well, that's part of it too, because you got to think about it. Our generation is the last generation to get weights for Christmas or birthday gift.
I demanded it. Yeah.
You got to think about it. There's a reason why. Look at the '80s, right? When we were kids.
Hmm.
Who are all the superheroes? He-Man, Lion-O, G.I. Joe. Do they look like some muscular motherfuckers?
Oh yeah,
Superman,
even the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were buff.
buff. I mean, think about it. Have you noticed in the '90s, the last masculine cartoon you've seen in the '90s, and I'm talking about masculine without any comedy, even though I love Darkwing Duck, but it was a lot of comedy in it, even though it was action oriented.
Yeah, who
The
was it?
last masculine cartoon you saw was Gargoyles. And I'm talking about original
Okay,
stuff.
I was gonna say that Batman animated series. It was a little dry for me, but yeah, that was right around the same time on Fox.
The Batman animated series came out around 1990, 1989. But that's
Okay.
still considered one of the greatest animated series of all time, because it was dry to you because you were younger. That's why.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
were
I understand that.
if you were a bit older, you get it because it was a much more serious tone. Think
Definitely.
about it. The last masculine cartoon you've seen growing up in the 90s was Gargoyles. After that, notice notice none of the kids' heroes ever won a contest against a girl.
Hmm.
Even when I
I'm
watched
sorry we lost Mela, but go ahead. Yeah, you got a point.
even when I watched, and LAPD SWAT is right. Even when Saturday you used to watch wrestling, kung fu theater, you had a lot of masculine shit. Now
How about X Men? How about X
you
Men though?
had X Men. Think about this, right? Even with Ben 10, he's always made to look dumber than his female cousin.
Mm.
Even though when they came, I liked the series when he became a teenager. Ben 10 Omniverse. I like to say, one, notice how you don't have any muscularity in the new heroes. The girls are many times in the story much bigger than the boys. Even in the adult animation, there's abrupt lesbianism, bisexuality.
Mm.
If you are big and strong as a man, you're stupid. If you're big and strong as a female, you're a tragic character and you got to have some cunning or smarts about you.
Okay, let's take it beyond animation. Let's talk about Game of Thrones when what was it, Brianna Tarth went head to head with the Mountain. You know he would have slayed her on some real shit, but they put her over. In pro wrestling terms, they put her over.
Put her over. Which means Vince could even write that script.
Right. You understand
Because
what I'm
it's
saying?
not because notice, the Mountain won the world's strongest man contest in real life. Thorson.
All right. Oh no, it wasn't the Mountain. It was the dog, the Hound. My fault. I had it fucked up.
Even
But yeah,
even with
the Hound, his brother.
even with the Hound, a person who went against war after war, battle after battle, right?
Right. Had
You
that
lose to
scarring
her.
across his face. He was thugging it out. He whooped everybody's ass. He saved the little girl in in King's Landing, Sansa Stark. And then when he gets out there with Arya, then Brienne whoops his ass. Bullshit.
That's bullshit. And that's straight bullshit. It's like, for example, Marvel had a thing with Avengers, World's Mightiest Heroes, and they had a thing with Avengers Assemble. You
Okay.
had Black Panther, who got his own miniseries in the show, and he's losing a fight to a female physically. Black Panther
That's
holds
wild.
his own against Captain America and Wolverine. They have a thing called 1 to 7. When it comes to strength, intelligence, energy projection, durability, speed, and fighting ability.
Oh, you
Captain
talking about
America
like the
Wolverine.
cards. I think I know what
Yeah,
you're talking about. Go ahead.
you remember the 90s in the cards. Captain America Wolverine, Sabretooth, and Black Panther, their abilities, when it comes to fighting abilities, is 7 out of 7. Meaning they are the greatest fighters in that universe, hand to hand.
Yeah, on some melee shit. Go ahead.
And he's losing to a female, and he's literally the crown prince, then the king. So he had all the finest fucking teachers in the world to teach him martial arts, and he's losing a fight to a female. Get the incredible fuck out of here. This is the even when you
Hey,
look at
I just want to say real quick, Mela. I hope I wasn't the one that ran you off.
no,
Maybe you just got late. But
no, she probably just she probably had to charge up her shit. But shout out to Mela because she was actually enjoyable.
yeah. Shout out to her.
And think about this, right? it's one thing if you had a female character who's that powerful. Like, I don't expect Black Panther to beat the Phoenix hand to hand. Fuck no. I mean, he's a better fighter, but she's just raw power and energy ejection. So he can outsmart her.
Energy. Yeah.
He can outsmart her, yeah, but trying to go toe to toe with a god is difficult. And the way I've said this, most kids, especially around my son's age, a little younger and a little bit older, they probably never seen a boy win a contest against a girl on television.
That's wild. Yeah, that's crazy for a frame of reference. If you don't have that in your mind, you would think that it's not even possible. It's like, I don't know, some psychological warfare, champ.
And that's what it is. So imagine when years ago, I know ABM probably remember, you might as well, or somebody in the chat. Remember when this chick got jumped by 12 dudes and they took her tennis?
It took her what?
They took her tennis shoes.
Oh, okay.
You know, some
Um,
people get paid from a
I
sneaker.
think I faintly remember. Was that in Philly? I faintly remember that.
I
I
think it
think.
was either Philly or New York. And
Okay.
12 guys banked her. I'm from Baltimore, bank means jump. They literally banked her for her shit, took her shoes off like she was a dude, and ran off with them.
They don't give a fuck anymore. They don't see the distinction because they've been flexing for so long. You're like, well, fuck it. It's fair warfare, right? It's all even. Ain't
Well,
no difference between me and her, even though it
that's what
is obviously, and I don't condone this shit. But yeah, okay.
and that's the problem with a lot of this bullshit, equality bullshit. Because one, if you make us equal, guess what happens? I like that. I like that new mon. I like the new icon. If you say that men and women are equal, guess what you do? Now you just put women in a goddamn dangerous zone.
Or
And sometimes women put themselves in a dangerous zone. Because I say, if I had a daughter, will my daughter know how to handle herself? I will teach her some tricks of the trade. But at the same time, treat a man the same way you would treat a bear or a lion or a tiger.
they don't want to grasp that concept.
You don't have to be the biggest man to hurt a chick.
No, I'm not the biggest dude on the planet, but I know for the most part I could put. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there, but yeah, I understand what
And
you're saying.
there's a reason why men had to have restraint.
Right.
Because one, you could kill her, even accidentally hitting her, because they have lighter muscles and thinner bone density. So she can't take the impact that you can.
Not at all.
And if she gets hit by that, that could end her life or give her brain damage, or you could crack. There's some dudes who are trained to hit and trained at the combat sports. Think about it. When you had that Phelan Fox, that transgender chick, really a dude, in MMA with women, he gave a chick a skull fracture.
Mm.
A fucking skull fracture.
Shameful. I'm against that. Yo, real quick, I'm gonna let the new member on the panel go. Sorry, AB. Give me like 10 seconds. I called in to like one of these. I don't know. I would call it a woke show. It's called The Line. They got a channel on YouTube, and I was challenging the shit about the female because I'm the boxing guy. A female boxer in the Olympics, and her fighting, or a transgender rather, fighting females, and they couldn't really stand on shit. I ended up going with the Rachel Dolezal concept. I said, if she thinks she's black, if it's just a mental thing, how you feel about yourself, if she thinks she's black, is she black? And they couldn't really stand on that. But I'm gonna pass the mic. Y'all got it.
Yeah, they can't do it because when you look at that shit, the illusion is supposed to be one way, not always. But go ahead, AB. How you been?
Hey, Charles. That transgender shit in sports really gets under my skin because basically they're just dudes that couldn't make it in the men's sport.
Yeah,
Mm.
you can't hack it.
And one of the reasons I find it so insulting is I'm somewhat of an athlete, but I openly admit I was not the best athlete back in the day. But I didn't go put on a pair of panties to go compete with the girl because I couldn't compete with guys like that. It's
You
insulting.
didn't get that operation. No diss, but yeah,
No.
you clearly didn't get the operation to compete. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No,
That's
don't get
shameful.
twisted. I still got muscle and stuff. But I admit I'm not the best athlete, but I do have some athletic ability.
Yeah.
I feel you.
But I never got to the point where I feel like I have to put a dress on to go compete with the girl because I just need to feel stronger. And that's crazy.
Yeah. And I mean,
Disrespectful.
shame,
And
shame-
yo, I want to follow up with this real quick. It's ironic because now they against themselves. This LGBT was just an extension of feminism, in my opinion. But now they're undermining their own cause because they want women to have equal, rights and equal access to be successful, but undermining themselves by letting the trans come in. So it's just funny to me that they shitting on their own.
I actually feel for the women who go in the locker rooms and see a dude with his junk hanging out. That is creepy.
This junk
That's not
hanging.
that's not safe because a lot of times you have
Yeah,
a lot of times.
I don't care what they call themselves. The same rules apply.
I feel you. Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm so glad. See,
There's-
now I'm more glad I don't have a daughter.
They're
There's
just
a
hanging
black-
out, and they in the locker room with a bunch of women. Same rules apply.
There's a black woman who opened up her own gym and she wanted to be women's only because according to her, she got tired of going to the gym and seeing trans women in the locker rooms and shit.
Oh,
So she goes out and opens
biological
up her
women only.
a women's only gym, right? And now she's in the middle of a lawsuit because there's a trans woman suing her.
Discrimination. Exactly. They're stepping on
Yep.
their own toes. That was my point. That's funny as
Like,
hell.
it's fucking crazy. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it one more time. We really need more of that. Male-only gyms, women-only gyms, because all of this camera shit in the gym nowadays, I'm getting a little sick of it.
Yeah.
It's just way too much shit going on. I just watched a video. The dude got pounded out in the gym because he's mad that the guy is in his shot. And he went over and said something to the guy, and the guy jumped up and beat his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I need you to detail
space in
that.
the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So a dude got caught up in a camera shot, and another dude came over and beat his ass. What's the details on that?
No, the guy that got beat up was the one who got mad at the other guy for being in his shot.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's some ego shit, man.
This is why I'm glad I got a gym in my apartment. Plus, I got my own weights, so I don't have to worry about all the madness with people recording shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can just record yourself at home, dude. Why do you bring tripods to the fucking gym?
Yeah,
and the shit with the
bullshit.
And the reason why I said what I said about the male only gyms, women only gyms, is because I'm tired of seeing this shit with women. You know what I mean? The moment you glance at them, because she got her tripod and she's recording everything. Oh, he looked at me. Oh, he's creepy. Oh, I'm offended now because he looked at
stalking.
me. Meanwhile, you know what you're
he's
doing.
looking because you got a goddamn camera set up, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on over here?"
And not only
I
that,
don't even
but
go to the gym no more. I work right at home.
Not
Yes.
only that, but you got the fucking spandex on with the thong. You're
Oh
doing it
yeah,
on
they do
purpose.
everything they
Look
can
at
to get
my
attention.
ass.
Yeah,
Everything
that's
is
a good
my
point.
ass.
Yep.
And then when somebody looks at you and shit, now you want to get some clout on social media, and that's bullshit. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm a big fan of women only gyms. We need to see more women only fucking gyms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a
Hey,
better
there you
workout.
go.
You'll get a better workout. You won't be accosted. And then here's the fucked up part. You females are going to have Sharia law in America, regardless if you want it or not. You're not going to be able to get a
Man,
man
Yeah. The
without
way y'all keep
enough.
going, yeah, it's going to happen.
I don't
You're going
know.
to.
I don't know if it'll happen during my lifetime, but yeah, definitely, it's going to be a bounce
It's
back, and
actually
they
it's
don't
actually
expect that.
already happened in your lifetime. Look, shout out to former Vice President Mike Pence. How did he go? If a woman
Well,
wanted
yeah, he
to
pushed
have
a
an
hard
interview with
line.
him, what did he say? Who was the number one person in his
Yeah, it
office
got
that
to
didn't
be
even
a
want a
third
woman?
party. It got to be, I don't know if he said film, but at least a third party. I know he was pushing a hard line on that. And yo, I work in corporate America, and I work from home now, but I wasn't fucking around. I'm not trying to jeopardize my position, so
Yeah,
I
that's the
feel him.
one thing Mike Pence did that I totally agree with is the Mike Pence rule.
Yep. And usually, guess what? It was his wife who was in that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
So
all the
go.
more safe, right?
Buddy.
You know things are fucked up when Henry Cavill is afraid to date. The guy that plays Superman is afraid to date because of this Me Too bullshit.
Yo, I ain't watched movies in a minute. I'm gonna be real. Okay, so that's why I hear his name thrown around. That's the new Superman. Okay, and yeah, even he ain't
Well,
playing
yeah,
games.
he was
So
the well, technically he was the Superman like what 10 years ago, but he's the Superman I count.
Mhm.
and I thought women looked at him as that nigga, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He's doing other stuff now, but yeah, that's the Superman. That's the Superman because that last Superman movie wasn't hitting on nothing.
Damn, I've been out the game for too long. Yeah, I ain't seen movies in a while, but okay, good to know.
No problem. Don't feel bad. I don't have cable no more either. I do streaming.
I just watch boxing, man. That's all I'm watching.
Right now, I got a couple AI models I'm working with.
Okay. Hey, that's what's up.
That's how I made my well, part of my avatar. Some of the background is different, but you know.
Oh yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I'm not. I mean, we just met, but on here met quote unquote. But you want to drop something in the back chat? I'm looking to use AI to up my shit, the quality of my content. So yeah, whatever you want. If you're willing to do it, I would appreciate it.
Okay.
Because I don't know, I'm just getting into AI. I'm using Gemini. I use AI for a couple thumbnails, but it's not like up there, not the way I want it to be. But anyway, yeah, transgender in sports. That they're gonna have to clean that up before they can push forward with this LGBT shit.
Here's the thing with the LGBT shit. Even they're starting to push back on that crap. Cause
They
they're doing
should.
too much. Cause I see TikToks all the time of gay people like no, y'all crazy. Y'all doing too much.
Oh, even gay people. Yeah, I have seen some of that. Okay, I'm not on TikTok, but I have seen some of that they even gay people say you're going too far. So that's funny as hell.
Yeah, especially some of the older ones, believe it or not.
That makes sense. It was like back in the 70s, 80s, maybe, I would imagine. Maybe even 60s. We was just trying to live and not get beat up on. Now y'all want to do way too much.
Yeah. And it's a misnomer that black people hate gay people like that. I know plenty of gay people in my life. You know, we just leave them alone, let them go about their business.
Hey, I had an uncle, Mike, R.I.P. And he never clowned him or did anything. But yeah, I feel you, Jim.
I mean, most times you get with gay people. Gay people don't get bullied in the black community. Matter of fact, let's tell the historical truth. Many gay people were safe during the disco era. You couldn't dance with nobody but the black.
During the disco.
Nah,
Oh
that's the,
yeah, okay.
you couldn't dance with nobody but the blacks. Where do you think everybody came to dance where it was safe? Well, black people. You
Mm-hmm.
think black white people were jealous of disco, so you had a bunch of these country fucks who said we want rock and roll, but even though rock and roll was created by Chuck Berry, a
Yep.
black.
Right.
So if you tell white people that, they don't even know. They think it
Definitely
came up.
not.
I said so. No, the only rock y'all came up with was the Beatles, and guess who put the Beatles on? You know who?
Oh boy, he just passed. Well, not too long ago.
Little Richard put the Beatles on. He was there. The fucking
Oh, I
Beatles
thought
opened.
I thought you were gonna say, goddamn, the producer that produced Michael Jackson. I thought that's who it was. But
Uh,
okay,
nah, it was Little Richard put the Beatles on. Do you know
okay,
he put the fucking Jimi Hendrix on? Since this is Black History Month, right? He put
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy.
let's go.
He put so many fucking bands on. He put fucking a lot of people on.
Mm.
Quincy Jones is who I thought you were gonna say. Name finally came to me, but okay, it was Little
Uh,
Richard. Well, that's what's
Little
up.
Richard. Little Richard's one of the architects of fucking. You know who's another architect of rock and roll? And this is what I
Who's that?
like.
Ike.
Go ahead.
Ike.
Ike Turner. Thank you. But guess what we did? We allowed Hollywood because they love besmirching black men.
Mm-hmm.
Notice who the closest thing you could say to us about an Epstein is R. Kelly, and R. Kelly never went as hard as Epstein.
Nope.
It was hard. Yo, wow. Yo, but that's fact. No, he didn't have a fucking island and like facilitating the shit. Man, I heard the files dropped. I've been purposely avoiding that because I don't even want to know for real. But I heard the files dropped. I don't know.
Hey, black people, how many black people were on Epstein Island?
One or two, if that.
I heard. Damn, who did I hear about? 50
I
Cent.
heard Jay
Is that
Z and
true?
Pusha T
Y'all
name
tell me.
came up, but I didn't hear that they were actually at the island. They're just names has been thrown out there. I haven't watched nothing about them specifically yet.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to sit down and find some and see exactly where their names came up. Cause I'm like Pusha T. like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's out of character. I feel you. That's a
But
hood
yeah,
dude.
their names came up.
Fuck with no
Steph
kids.
Curry name actually came up. He was actually mentioned by some Mossad shit for some weird reason. Oh, and that streamer dude, remember him?
Yeah.
What's his name? Desi?
Yeah.
Destiny.
Nah, not Destiny. What's the dude name? He be making the funny skits.
Beastie.
Black
I don't know who
dude.
you're talking about.
Dusky or Dusky.
No, not Drewski, not him. Damn, I can't remember his name. Anyway, his he had a page or a website or something that got hacked by the Mossad.
Mm.
And it was like, so when you would go to his website, right, it would have all this support Israel shit on it. And he had to call Google. He had to get in touch with Google and get Google to shut that shit down. I can't remember, was it a website or some sort of page, something, but he had to get it shut down, and he had to put out a statement like, "Oh, I don't know nothing about no Mossad and all that."
I don't mean to laugh, but that's crazy.
But yeah, they all over the fucking place, man.
I mean, you got to think the Mossad is like the CIA Black Ops of Israel.
Okay.
So,
all right. These are high-speed specialists.
yeah, remember, this is the Mossad, one of the few Mossad stories that were allowed to come out.
Allowed to come out. Go ahead.
Yeah. There was the 72 Olympics in Munich, right? They get terrorists, Iranian terrorists, killed some of the athletes, the Hebrew athletes. So the Mossad had a couple of dudes, one dressed up, it was like, let's say there was 8 people. One out of the 8, like every second guy was dressed as a woman, so they shaved their faces really well. And they would wear the veil. And the woman would carry like a purse or a basket. Inside the basket were fucking Uzis. And do you know the Uzi is actually Israeli? Did you know the Desert Eagle is an Israeli creation? And the Galil, you can tell from the name Galil. So they manufacture some really nice weapons, which is basically the Galil is basically the Israeli fucking AK. So they found out where the terrorist was, and they act like they had a delivery for him, and they killed every goddamn person in the room. They were so quick, and they were out the country. They didn't even discover their bodies till 2 days later.
Yeah,
Wow.
I ain't trying to be funny, but yeah, GDEP special delivery. That's crazy. I knew Israeli factored some arms.
They got people who are so technical that if the Mossad came at you, they can make it like you never existed.
Disappear, motherfucker.
So
okay.
they have a lot of ops because you got to think a lot of your special operations train from a lot of Mossad experts. So when you look at it, I'm not shocked that Epstein or Stein, the way you want to pronounce it, was a spy. Everybody spy. This is the one thing about espionage, which means spying or reconnaissance. Everybody spy. Everybody. The same motherfuckers wearing holding hands with. We got about 1,800 motherfuckers taking pictures and try to counter hack each other. This is how secretive the Secret Service is. If you're the president of the United States and you're taking a dump overseas, you're not even allowed to flush. You got to take a dump
because they might collect. Wait. Hold on. Unpack that. I've heard this kind of thing before, but unpack why that would be, please.
If I took some of your stool and sampled it, I could see how healthy you are.
Yeah, I figured it was about getting that. Okay. So I was on the right track.
So in other words, if you're, let's say you're pre-diabetic, what if I send some type of thing in your food to make you totally diabetic, or to go into shock?
Word.
So in other words, if the
Well,
president
that makes sense.
If the president's sick, you can change the course of history.
Yeah, I don't need that much power.
Think about it. The sitting president right now is one earlobe from not being a president. He's one earlobe but not being alive.
One earlobe. You a wild boy. Okay.
But it's true. That's how of a hair's breadth that he was from not being alive. One earlobe left. The thickness of an earlobe.
Oh yeah, but
living in 2026, we got 2 more years. Okay, man, it's been a lot of heat. I don't mean to change the subject, but a lot of heat about ICE, obviously, and Trump's policies in general. Y'all want to speak on that?
Well, we spoke on some of it before, but I'll speak on it again. I feel nothing.
Okay.
If you're an illegal immigrant and you're committing a crime if you're here illegally, so if me as a black man, if I'm committing a goddamn crime, are you going to throw the book at me?
Well, of course. No, I'm not saying, okay, let me put a finer bow on it. Let me put a finer point. No, obviously I don't have, because I know, being from California, that Mexicans don't generally, shout out to my Mexican homies. I had a Mexican homie I'm still friends with since the 3rd grade. So since 1993 to infinity, as I think it was the hieroglyphic said. But anyway, I say that to say this. No. It's not about that. I'm saying now they're capping white people, and now they up in arms. How do y'all feel about that?
I feel nothing.
I feel nothing. I'd like a sniper when he hits a target. The only thing he feels is recoil.
They're interfering with a federal investigation. People going around talking about there were 2 murders, and my response is, what murders?
Let me put it to
He
you.
said like Debo, what bike?
What bike? Put it to you this way, right? If I'm already antagonizing law enforcement and I kick and damage their vehicle, which they have to answer for, they're gonna arrest you. Don't get mad and start wrestling or trying to hit the officers, and you have a gun on you, and you got a gun on you. Is it reasonable to believe you have more weapons on you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on, champ, because I didn't watch the news clip because I'm going through enough negative shit. I'll spare you all the story, but enough negative shit in my life right now. I'm not trying to see nobody get laid down. But what I heard through, word of mouth secondhand is that the dude gave up his gun like to the ICE officer. The ICE officer didn't have proper trigger control, let the shit off, and then his fellow officers assumed that the dude was popping at him, and that's why he laid him down. Is that true or false?
We got to look at the video in different angles.
Well, I'll look. That's fair enough. I'll look for myself.
And then on top of that, if you're digging in your pockets, which black people know, you keep your hands where the fuck they can see you.
Yes.
Don't give them no. Every person who's black knows you don't give them a fucking excuse. Your job is to survive. See, white people.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe the white mentality went into it. He was like, I'm just doing. They don't have the same mindset, the same precaution. I'm not giving excuses for no side. I'm just trying to dig into exactly what happened before I watch the footage. That's all. But they don't have the same precaution. They have a little more sense of entitlement.
I watched the footage, and he was clearly resisting arrest. So there's really not a case here for murder or anything else.
And then on top of
why doesn't MAGA say just comply like they used to say a couple years ago? Just comply.
Because it's going to go in one ear and out the other.
Hey, yo.
What happens is
to put a bow on that, these niggas some hoes if they don't keep the same energy, regardless of race. That's where I'm at with it. But I'll go back and watch it. I don't want to be ignorant about the shit.
This is the part I tell people is this. When you look at this interaction, you can tell that you can tell that how brazen he was. See, white people live off extreme living.
Mm-hmm.
Because black people know how easy your life can be over in one day. They never had to go through this. This is their niggerization moment.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason they're upset is because white people are being treated like niggas.
Yeah, astutely stated. And not to step on you, but yeah, SWP made this point, and I was like, damn, I never made that parallel. Yeah, we've been getting stepped on, being canaries in the coal mine for so long. They said, oh, that's just y'all. It ain't going to happen to us. But no, now they see classism flexing its muscles, and now they upset. But you got it.
But you got to remember, slave masters always fought to keep their slaves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Word. And they got the white proletariat to fight to keep slavery, even though it meant they wouldn't have the jobs that, if they had freed the slaves earlier, they would have had the jobs and would have actually gotten paid. This shit is crazy, the psyop that the white elite play on the white proletariat.
Well, this isn't classism. This is right versus left, because that guy kicked the ICE car twice and broke the taillight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Broke the whole assembly. Even after the first kick, when they were driving away, they were trying to just drive off. It was the second kick that broke the assembly, which is what made them stop and get out in the first place.
Which they
So
have to.
dude brought this on himself.
So they had to do it because what did I keep
No, I'm
telling
not
you?
making no excuses.
That's destruction of federal property. So they have to arrest them because guess what? Every time you take that vehicle out, you have to do inside of everything in there in case somebody drops some drugs, gun. You got to make sure you get that vehicle. Think wrong with that vehicle. You come back with that vehicle and the tail lights busted, and you have that shit knocked out your pay. You can't. This is no way. This motherfucker's a victim. Let's just get.
The same thing with the woman.
No, I wasn't even insinuating. I wasn't trying to insinuate that at all.
The same thing with the woman. The shooting is questionable. You watch different videos. You can't really tell. Is she trying to hit him? Is she trying to drive off? But here's the thing. Why the fuck are you even out there, Karen?
Mm-hmm.
Go to Starbucks, get your pumpkin latte, and go to fucking the house.
Now, I will say she had no business being out there, but I can't justify that. It didn't seem like she was trying to insinuate. She was out of pocket in a general sense, but I don't think a government official had the right to pop her up like that.
Listen, that's law enforcement. See,
Hey,
the
man,
problem
How would
is
you feel if a car was driving towards you?
listen, here we go.
No, away. What I
let me
saw
say
is
that.
away, not towards.
Okay, but here's the thing.
No, go ahead, AB.
If you wasn't out there, that wouldn't have never happened.
Exactly.
I
Why
agree
are
with
you
that, but come on, someone driving
confrontational?
away.
Why are you confrontational with law enforcement people who have badges and guns and all type of shit that will end you?
See, y'all a
See,
little bit
because
different
here's
from
the
me.
thing.
Just a
I'm
little
white.
bit.
I'm not going to get shot. No, yeah, you will. You better go ask Ashley Babbitt. That's what got Ashley Babbitt's stupid ass clapped in the neck. Hey, I'm a white woman.
No,
What's the worst that can happen?
I spoke to the entitlement mentality, but still, like, you want to apprehend them, but I still don't see fucking execution style.
Again, I mean, I said it was questionable. I'm not saying he's 100% right.
Mhm.
I'm just simply saying if you don't want to get shot by an ICE agent, you probably don't want to be within arm's reach of him. That's all I'm saying.
I'm inside. So
That's all I'm saying. There's 1,000 different ways you can protest this. You don't have to be up here getting confrontational with people with guns.
I always say this, right? Have you noticed nobody goes to the gang members or the muggers or the robbers and get confrontational with them? Oh, it's the same reason women get confrontational with men because we're supposed to have restraint.
with that actually supposed to be decent man. Yeah, I understand that.
Forget that in order to save a life, you may be called upon to take one. And this is what happens when I tell people every call an officer goes to, whether federal, local, state, or federal, how many times is a gun involved?
A thou well.
How many?
Every time.
Every time. Why?
Because cops have guns.
And think about it.
No,
right?
because you never know how far the shit could go.
You bring a gun every time. So guess what? If a suspect gets your gun off of you, there's an 80% chance from FBI statistics they'll use it against you. Would you go to Vegas if you had an 80% chance of winning? Fuck yeah, you would.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
So you're telling me these people know fully goddamn well they got fucking AR-15s and M4s. Most likely ARs, but I'm pretty sure they're trained with M4s, which are fully automatic. These people are apprehending fucking illegals. And a good number of illegals are connected to what? International fucking.
Yeah. I'm in California. I know.
That's the state, nothing
The
but
Mexican
gas.
Mafia. I'll put a bow on it. The Mexican Mafia. Go ahead.
That's, you could put a few letters there. MS. Anybody? So you're telling me these motherfuckers are already taking on some high risk shit. Because one thing about illegals, guess what? They're going to stick together. They should, because any other allies. We look at this. It's an insult to people who had to get their citizenship the legal way, the hard way. Because what about the people who went through military service and went to war for the country to become citizens? We going to disrespect them?
No, Faulkner, I feel you, but it's just like, I don't know, man. I want to find the middle ground. I'm saying get motherfuckers out the country, but don't pop nobody if not necessary. That's all I'm saying. They did break the law by crossing here illegally, so I'm not against ICE in that regard. I'm more of an independent type motherfucker, so I'm saying just get them out, but you don't got to pop them. Man, these are white people I'm talking about, so it ain't even fucking illegals.
They don't even pop illegals. There's these crazy ass white folks out of their damn business. And notice, there's a good number of fucking Hispanic people who voted the orange man in.
I will vote for Donald Trump. That's what they say.
People voted for Trump.
Yep, I did.
So
21% of black men voted for Trump.
And there's a good percentage of Hispanics who voted for Trump.
No, more, higher. I'm just saying that's what they said. So it is hypocrisy. Now that they're trying to say, "Oh, what the fuck is going on?" When you voted for, he laid his policy out off top. So I don't understand what the complaint is about. But Joe, I sat it out, man. I'm kind of apolitical, not totally, but I'm more on the local level.
Well, a lot of people said, quiet as kept. A lot of black people set it out. That's what they want to talk about. A majority of black people set it out, but the ones who voted just happened to vote for Kamala Harris. Just the majority of the ones who voted voted for Kamala Harris, but majority of black people just set it out.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, actually, I knew the Democrats were in trouble when I was because I go to dialysis, so I talked to a lot of older people. I knew they were in trouble when I was talking to some older people. I was talking to this older black lady. She looked at me and said, "I voted for longer than you've been alive, and I'm sitting this one out." I was like, "Oh shit! If the people in the boomer age are sitting it out, Democrats are in trouble because that's the only people still have faith in them."
A female black boomer. That is surprising. Okay. Where you located at, Machamp?
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay. Gotcha.
And our state's gonna probably go red anyway, so usually goes red anyway.
You know mine's gonna go blue. You know Cali gonna go blue regardless, so I didn't feel the need to do that on the presidential level.
Well, we have knuckleheads that said if you stay at home, that's a vote for Trump. If you vote for another party, that's a vote for Trump. So I said, fuck it, I'll just go vote for Trump. Trump, you complain about that.
You kind of
you a goddamn fool.
For the last 4 years, the Democratic Party just said Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad.
Yep, that's all they have.
Literally,
I agree with that.
Literally, you didn't talk about how you damn near bankrupt the country, financing 2 stupid wars we just got out of 2.
Mm-hmm.
They get quiet about that shit.
Okay, so it seems like you guys lean red, and I ain't trying to be the antagonist. I'm just trying to, it's food for thought. Do you think if Trump would have continued with Biden's economic plan, which seemed to be slowly, I'll grant you slowly, and I didn't fuck with Biden at all. I had a shirt mocking him, a T-shirt when he said, "You ain't black." Hey, I had a Biden T-shirt looking like Uncle Sam said, "You ain't black." So I wasn't fucking with him. I definitely wasn't voting for Kamala. But I'm gonna ask you this. If you'd have continued with that same economic plan, do you think at current day we better off than we are now? Because the
Hell no.
economy is only gone down.
It become
What's
worse.
up?
We would
It,
actually be
it would have been worse.
Hey man, I was just asking. I
because
don't know.
you already spent like $4 trillion on immigrants. You already spent $2 trillion between Israel and Ukraine.
Yes.
Where's the money? Where's the money?
Well, you could argue, and again, devil's advocate, that pumping up ICE, like getting more, more employees, has been more costly. I'm not saying it's not necessary. I'm just saying that that's where tax dollars could be funneled. I don't want to fund any Israel shit, so let me be clear on that. But you could argue that, we need ICE to have more resources, so we're gonna pump money into that. I don't know, man. I don't follow this shit super closely. I'm just throwing out food for thought. I know enough to ask some questions.
Interesting tidbit. Since they've gotten illegals out of the country, you notice rent prices have gone down.
Well, not in California, but you got it.
No, even in California.
Nah, champ. I ain't paying less.
Okay.
I'm just saying. It's just anecdotal, obviously. But yeah, not Northern Cali. I'll even say that because California is a huge state. I could drive south for 8 hours and still be in California. And I'm not even at the uppermost. I'm in Sacramento. I would just be in San Diego if I drove for 8 hours. So it's a huge state, a huge economy. So maybe that's just different. But yeah.
Yeah, that's
Here,
true.
my cost of living hasn't gone down.
But a lot of places where there's a bunch of legal migrants in apartments and stuff, they got deported, so the rent prices went down.
And that's why
I could understand the argument. Again, I gotta look further into it. I'm coming up here semi-ignorant, but again, I know a little bit about a lot of shit, so I'm just posing questions, but I'm not saying you're wrong.
you got to think about a lot of the shit went on. Hey, well, if you can, I understand if you got a candy ram, but it's
Mongo. Mm-hmm.
I had to. That's for the Patreon, but it's kind of funny how when you look at the system and you're trying to restart the system. Basically, this is the goal, getting off the gold standard again. Because OPEC is trying to fuck us because they want gold instead of the petrodollar. Last time I checked, right, AB?
Mm-hmm.
And Trump just did a mega stallion move and said, "Well, fuck it, I guess we both ain't shit." And quiet as kept. Said, "Hey, Venezuela, we'll make a deal with you. We'll protect you from everybody else. But we want that crude. We want that gas.
Well, that's gold and silver too, but still.
We want the silver too. We want that fuel for the mule. We want that gas for that ass."
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Venezuela was an inside job. Did they? That's why it was done so quickly.
Oh, they set the fuck up. She set him up real good. They were probably talking about that for months.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yo, you said she specifically. I know it was an inside job. I agree with that, but you putting the onus on old girl. Okay, I mean, I'm not disagreeing, but damn. Okay.
Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's typical
geopolitics.
Yeah. Typical.
No, we've been meddling in South America for fucking decades, man. Come on, champ. That's just part of the playbook.
Called the Monroe Doctrine.
Oh yes, sirski. I did my history.
Good. A lot of black people don't know their history, but they want to argue with you.
See, what happened was blue fish, red fish
Nick,
Mhm.
Nick,
You stupid. That's from Don't Be a Menace. Knick Knack Paddywhack. Yeah, okay. I feel you. Um, but no. I studied enough. Again, I'm not the most fucking well versed motherfucker on history, but I know a lot of shit. I mean, not to pat myself on the back, but no, I know enough to know the Monroe Doctrine and how they were meddling in South American affairs since the 80s, at least, maybe the 70s, to put certain puppet politicians in place, stage a coup indirectly and keep your hands clean, so to speak. Not have the blame be on you. So yeah, I know about that shit, champ. Same shit we did in Southeast Asia in the 60s. Not me, but the US.
you know, it's one of those things where, history just repeats itself. All we're going through is another Monroe Doctrine. You got to carve up there.
Just a power play. Now it's just indirect, and it's getting more and more indirect. Watch when AI comes into the equation. It's going to be crazy. You're going to have like videos of Putin or whoever his successor is saying some shit he didn't say. It's going to be some crazy shit, champ. Bet.
And I mean, I'm here for it because guess what? There's certain nasty shit countries do to each other to keep themselves as a first world country. Do you like flushing toilets in
it's
your
just
home?
the nature of the game.
Do.
I'm not even.
Do you want to roll?
Sorry to cut you off, but I'm not even
don't.
like saying it's a bad thing or. Yeah.
People think empires are built on benevolency. On paper, sure. We're about freedom. See, we sing all the little classic songs of freedom. But
no, it's just
the real
written by the victors after the fact
of the United States is really from Biggie Smalls. Give me the loot.
Word. That's what it's about.
Because this country literally been robbing niggas since the slave ship with the same clip and the same 4.5. Shit. That's America, baby. So that's just American politics right there. Shoot.
And since since I'm getting a little
people
loose.
Get upset.
I had a couple beverages, but Charles, since I want to say this real quick, since motherfuckers already doxed me on my channel,
you got to be able to have your own common sense about it.
Oh, of course. But since motherfuckers already doxed me on my shit, I'm gonna admit that I got the same first name on as you, and I'm the fourth of my name, so I'm Charles the Fourth. Motherfuckers already know it's already out there, but yeah, that's funny that we have the same name. I don't meet a lot of Charleses these days. You're probably the only other one I know in real life. Oh, you dropped out? Okay. Well, shit, it's getting late. I guess I'll just tap out. But yeah, shout out Charles Faulkner. Great stream. I'm glad I got to get my point off.
All right, definitely. Anybody got any last words?
No, champ. I'm good. I'll be back. I'll be tapping in with you more frequently. You got good streams. About how often do you go live? So I know when to expect you.
Usually Mondays, around Wednesdays, and Thursdays, definitely. Sometimes Sundays, depending on how I feel.
Okay. I got you. Anyone, I hope you don't mind me self-promoting. I'm sorry, but anyone interested in boxing specifically, I normally go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm trying to get back on my schedule. So I'm gonna talk some boxing. Rock with me. But yo, salute to all y'all. Mela, of course, Charles, ABM, and oh boy, that was up here too. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. No disrespect, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be around more often. What'd you say?
Okay. AB Media 83.
Yeah, AB Media. Okay, I don't want to leave nobody out. Okay, shout out. Good night.
Probably Wednesday. I'm going to talk more about that fight with oh boy that they just had. So it's going to be
Are you
interesting.
talking about Teo Shakur? Oh yeah, we can do that.
Probably talk about that Wednesday.
Got you. Hey man, peace out. Salute to you.
Woo! And we out.